All right, I think I am live. Now I'm live? I think I'm live now. How's it going, everybody? Haven't done a live in a minute. So there's some stuff that I want to react to and some channels I want to feature. Let's start. Hang on. Okay. One day I'll figure out how to do this stuff. Let's start with this heated debate from Christspiracy. All right.
Are you a Christian yourself?
Yeah.
Do you eat animals?
Yeah.
Have you ever killed an animal yourself?
No, not to eat it. Accidentally, yeah. You should only kill what you need and no more.
90 billion
What's up, Mary? How are you?
animals are killed every year, and 99% of those are in factory farms. What do you think Jesus would do about factory farming?
I have no idea.
And if he ate animals, how would Jesus kill an animal?
Like they normally did back then.
Which is what?
We can eat meat now. It's allowed because we're in this fallen state.
Well, yeah, we're allowed to lie. But does that mean we should lie?
No. No. Dude.
It's better not to, right?
Yeah.
So if we know, for instance, that
God gave them manna and quail, right? So doesn't that imply that he is fine with us eating meat?
well, let's pull up again Numbers chapter 11. They begged and begged for meat, so the quail fell all around the camp, so much that it came out of their nostrils, and then they were struck with a plague, and then they named the place after the people who begged for other food.
All right.
What's up, Lewis? How are you? Forgot about the crown thing. Look, you went in one comment from number 2 to number 1. Amazing. That's the power of Mary. She can go from 2 to 1 like it was nothing. I love, by the way, the crown thing is so fun. I love it. Let's look at the rankings. Let's click at the top. Only 2 people so far. Only 2 people in the rankings. All right.
Partially, it follows some of my own journey. I'm a Christ follower, born and raised Southern Baptist. Do you want to sit down and chat for me? What's your name?
Right. Wait, is this for the cameras?
Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah? You don't have to if you want to, but...
Not to worry.
Okay. So, Christspiracy is a documentary that we made, which, to sum it up, is an exploration in trying to understand if there's a spiritual or ethical way to kill an animal, which is a question I was confronted with when I, as a hunter, fisherman, and working at a barbecue restaurant, raised Christian, became aware of some contradictory elements from what I saw in scripture and what I also learned about, the ethics of, say, factory farming, etc. And how would Jesus feel about that? What would Jesus do? If you've ever heard that question, what would Jesus do about factory farming? So I'm curious, what do you think Jesus would do about factory farming?
I have no idea. I mean, I didn't really read the scriptures based on animals. I know that's primarily of Leviticus, right?
You're talking about Levitical laws and stuff,
Yeah.
animals, kosher, etc. Yeah. By the way, you don't have to hold it so close to your mouth.
Yeah, but it looks professional. And I don't really know much about what he says about it.
Do you know much about, say, factory farming?
Yeah, it's like mass killing, basically.
Right. So do you think Jesus would approve of mass killing?
No.
Are you a Christian yourself?
Yeah.
Do you eat animals?
Yeah.
Have you ever killed an animal yourself?
What do you like to find?
To eat it?
No, not to eat it. Accidentally, yeah, but not to eat it.
Catch up on the chat. Whoa. What would Jesus be? Queen Mary and King Louis. Oh man. Felix is here too. Don't count Felix out. He can sneak up that ranking list really fast. Never count out Felix. King Louis. Uh-oh. King Louis. I have a cool interview coming out tomorrow. Guys, look out for that. That's going to be a good one. And during the conversation, I can't remember if I've said it on a stream yet or not, but I watched a video on YouTube about King Louis. Who is it? King Louis the Eighth. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know my history. Anyway, it was bonkers. And since then, YouTube algorithm thinks that I will click, and they are correct, by the way, that I will click on anything talking about medieval torture and horrible things. And so now my YouTube algorithm is like this same channel of, you know what, I'll show you guys. I will, instead of me trying to describe this, I will show you guys, because I just love this guy's delivery. It's a big channel. He's like this British guy. And his delivery of like, oh, it was, I can't describe it. Okay. I can't describe it. I will bring it up. Let me see if, the thing is, I have my YouTube channel, and then I don't always like surf YouTube using my channel. So I don't know if it will come up right now. Let me just. Anyway, this is not important. This is not why you're here, but never mind. Never mind. I'll get to it later.
So do you think that it's morally justifiable, especially from the reason why I got into this is coming from a Christian perspective, to kill any animals?
I think you can kill any animals, but I don't think you should do it surplus. You should only kill what you need and no more.
So how much animals do you think need to be killed for food?
So the issue is that I don't want my algorithm on this channel to show me all that. If I put it on here, then every time we're looking for a video, that's what's going to come up, and I'm going to get distracted.
I have no idea.
90 billion land animals are killed every year, and 99% of those are in factory farms, which is the most horrific suffering. They're in cages where they can't move around in their own feces. They're injected with hormones. They're prodded and electric shocked and bolt gunned to the head, slit in their throat. Pigs are gassed alive with a gas that burns them from the inside out. So do you think that in order for us to consume 90 billion animals per year and killing animals in that such a way, do you think that's justifiable?
I would have to see the numbers, but I'm not sure if that's even like how much of that goes to waste. That's the real question. How much of that do we actually eat and consume
All of
versus how much we just do it just to do it? Because there's a lot of waste in a lot of companies
just to do it,
and they're pouring it out just anywhere, and that brings on pollution on the land, air, and now our animals.
Right.
Oh man, what to even do with someone when, man, it's just, I really struggle now at this point when talking to someone who's just so completely ignorant of the industry that they'll say something like that. Then you're just like, I don't even know what to do with you. Just please go away.
And that's a good point. Not
So,
only
the point, like he's talking about, oh, it's polluting when we waste the animals, when we don't eat the animal. No, all of it's pollution. Like it's all waste. None of it is for any benefit.
is it interesting to consider the waste of the actual animal products, but then to consider the waste of the plants that we feed to those same animals to grow them so that we can consume them, because we grow the large majority of, say, soy, which is grown on planet Earth, is grown to feed animals.
What's up, Kane? All right, who's winning now? Kane, do you know what happened to you the other day? See, you were maybe at the gym or something, but you started out like number 2, number 3. You dropped down to like number 11 by the end of the stream, Kane. It was horrible for you. It was embarrassing. I felt bad for you. What's up, Nilf? Gotta go for a walk soon. What's up with all these exercisers? Making me look bad. Dropping in for a bit. Everybody doing all their exercise. Guys, you'll be proud of me. I have run every day for 5 straight days. I'm on it. I'm running. I'm running my little heart out.
And
thanks for being here, everybody.
We could eat that same soy ourselves in a fraction of the land use and a fraction of the resources and get the same amount of calories and protein. So think about that level of waste, you know, to make the animal the middleman, basically, when we could have just eaten the plant itself. So circling back to the thought experiment here, do you think Jesus ate animals?
Yeah.
And if he ate animals, how would Jesus kill an animal?
Like they normally did back then?
Which is what?
I have no idea. They probably just stabbed it and cooked it and ate it.
Can you visualize Jesus stabbing an animal?
Yes.
What's he using when he stabs it?
A knife.
So you picture Jesus holding a knife and stabbing, say, a lamb, like this image here on our poster?
I was thinking more like fish because his disciples were fishermen, and fish was the common source of protein back then. So, and there's recorded in the Bible, Jesus, the loaves and fishes, the miracle.
Right. So see that Bible right there? Can you open it real quick? Open it up to Matthew, which is towards in there. It's all marked really well. And chapter 16, verse 9. Can you read Matthew 16:9?
Do you still not understand? Don't you remember the 5 loaves for the 5,000 and how many basketfuls you gathered?
You notice anything missing there?
The fish.
He doesn't mention the fish, and that's Jesus' own retelling of the miracle. Now, we realize and we understand that in the recording of the miracle that there are 2 fish that are mentioned. Now,
Basketfuls you gathered.
Do you not yet understand, neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000 and how many baskets ye took up? This verse is part of a larger.
You notice anything missing there?
The fish.
He doesn't mention the fish, and that's Jesus' own retelling of the miracle. Now, we realize and we understand that in the recording of the miracle that there are 2 fish that are mentioned. But is it at all interesting that Jesus himself didn't mention the fish?
I just think it's because, I mean, it could, or it could just be that bread doesn't expire as fast as fish does. So carrying around a bunch of fish guts in a basket would be problematic versus carrying around a bunch of bread.
So what if I told you in John 6:5, which you can look up for yourself?
Oh, man. 4 days a week, Mary? That's pretty good. Yeah, he's cool, isn't he, Nil? Peter Young. He's awesome. That was really cool to be able to interview him. Oh, silent treatment, eh, Lewis? All right. Have to leave soon. Wow. Unbelievable. Everybody just coming and going willy-nilly as they please. Just letting me know, hey, I'm just here for a bit and I'm leaving. I'm leaving. You see it now, you see me, now you don't. That's what everybody does.
If you want, Jesus asked them to go fetch bread. He doesn't ask them to fetch any fish. They just
It's a power move. That's what's going on. It's a power move. You guys are just letting me know who holds all the cards. What about Luke 43:27?
And to bring it. Yeah, if you go John 6:5.
When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, where should we buy bread for these people to eat?
Right. So he doesn't ask for fish. He doesn't recall fish when he tells the story later on. And not only that, in multiple accounts in the scripture, when they're done with the miracle, it says they gathered up the pieces of the bread. And not only that, when Jesus blesses the miracle, when he blesses it, he breaks and blesses the bread and not necessarily the fish. There's not even a Hebrew blessing for animal flesh. So
would you say that it's not a stretch to say that maybe Jesus accepts people where they at if they bring fish or whatever, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he condones eating fish, especially since, if you remember or you recall, when he called the disciples forth that were fishermen, he said to stop what they were doing and become fishers of men instead, and they dropped their nets and left their profession behind. Yes?
Yeah. Wait, I feel like there's a place in the Bible where when he comes back, they eat fish. Like when he comes back and appears to the disciples, they eat fish.
Yeah, so you're talking about Luke?
Yeah, probably.
Well, there's two instances. You're talking about John 21 and Luke 24. Those are both, again, miraculous appearances after Jesus resurrected the resurrected body. So taking the scripture literally, if it's literally fish that we're discussing, it's not to say that the fish isn't a miraculously appeared, manifest.
Mary, you will always have permission to take care of animals. So you can circumvent any rules when it comes to the animals.
Station of fish that hasn't been killed, the same way that he can miraculously create anything, right? But beyond that, what if I told you, say, in John chapter 21, there's 3 different words used in 1 or 2 paragraphs to describe the word fish, which we translate as fish, but in the Greek, it's 3 different words, and 2 of them, prosphagion and upsarion, just mean a relish or anything eaten with bread. And the third word, ichthus, which I'm sure you've heard before, the fish symbol, which most people have as bumper stickers when they're Christians on the back of their car. It's the sacred symbol to represent the early Christians. And ichthus is actually an acronym meaning Jesus Christ, God's Son, Savior. And so in some ways, it's maybe not necessarily meant to literally be fish that we're eating, but a metaphor. And even if it is literal, the fact of the matter is to know that we have a tradition which starts in the garden. Are you familiar with Genesis 1:29? In the Garden of Eden, do you know what we ate in the Garden of Eden, supposedly from the Bible?
Fruit?
Did we eat animals in the Garden of Eden?
No.
What about in the kingdom of heaven?
Yeah, there will be no eating of animals. You'll have to eat the fruit.
Okay, so in the idyllic state in the beginning, before man fell into sin, we're not eating animals, and in the kingdom of heaven, we're not eating animals. Do you know the Lord's Prayer? Can you say the beginning of it?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Our kingdom come, our will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Okay, you can stop there. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. So number 1, notice he doesn't mention animal flesh. Number 2, as you just said, in the kingdom of heaven, there's no eating or consumption of animals. So if Jesus is calling us,
I'm pretty, unfamiliar with a lot of this stuff. So I'm sort of learning, which doesn't offer as much opportunity for feedback. Does the whole religion thing just make anyone else's blood? Yes, it makes my blood boil. MILF. Can't stand trying to argue. Yeah. Yes, I am. That's nice, Mary. I had one wild young raccoon come into your house last year. Explored all 3 levels of the house and then threw the raccoon. You threw the raccoon a little plastic ball that she played with. Nice.
It's to pray for the kingdom to be done on earth as it is in heaven. Does that mean that we should be doing the heavenly thing now and maybe eating animals isn't necessary?
So yes, you should probably not eat animals, but the thing is, we live in a fallen world, and
yes, we should probably not eat animals, but you didn't need a but. No but. Leave the buts alone. After you said that great sentence, you could have just added a period right there and just stopped. So we live in a fallen world. So instead of doing the right thing, I'll just keep doing the thing that we should probably not do. Okay.
So like in the Bible, it says when God was giving the Israelites the Mosaic law, he adds parts in. So like divorce, God doesn't like divorce, right? He put in rules about divorce because he knew we're in a fallen world and fallen and sinful things will happen. So he put that in the Mosaic law.
Right. There's an allowance or a concession because of the hardness of heart. Jesus even speaks on the divorce one when he's asked later. If you recall, he says divorce has been allowed because of the hardness of heart of humanity. Well, interestingly, in the Syriac version of the Gospel of Luke, if you know the famous verse from Luke, which says, do not be troubled.
It's so weird. Like, oh, we're not going to allow you if you're like a young girl and you got married to some guy, no, you're trapped. Or vice versa. No, you're trapped for life. No divorce. The hardness of heart. What a weird concept. Like, man. Maybe people should just not be trapped and should be able to do what they want to do in terms of who they choose to spend their time with.
By the anxieties of the world, by intoxication, etc., for it will come upon you like a snare. That's in the Gospel of Luke. Well, in the Syriac version, which is a sister language to Aramaic, the language that Jesus actually spoke, we have a record of the Gospel of Luke in Syriac, which is an older language than or an older document than a lot of the documents that we have translated. In that Gospel, it says, "Do not let your heart become hardened by the consumption of flesh, by intoxication, and by the anxieties of the world." So similarly, could it be that there, like you said, there is an allowance or a concession for the consumption of animal flesh because we're in a fallen state, but it's not the ideal. And like everything, as soon as we become aware, we as followers of Christ trying to bring the kingdom of heaven on earth should do our best to abandon that.
Yeah, we should probably do it, but it's fine not to do it.
What do you mean by fine?
I mean, it's allowed, because we're in this fallen state, and God knows that we're in a fallen state, so we can eat meat now, or eat animals.
Well, yeah, we're allowed to lie, but does that mean we should lie?
No. And
it's better not to, right?
Yeah.
So if we know, for instance, that we're causing suffering and killing to another being that wants to live, and we don't need to, if it's not necessary, if we're thriving according to the scripture and ironically according to science, it's well known at this point that humans can thrive living on plant-based diets, then whether or not we're allowed to, maybe we should consider what's
a lot of raccoon talk going on. A raccoon chat. What's up, an honest doubter? All Abrahamic traditions are Luciferian in that they worship the books and institutions of man. Lewis, yeah, but God told me to eat animals that. Yeah, I've never been religious.
The most Christ-like, the most compassionate, the most holistic, the most heavenly thing we can do.
Okay. So just to recap what you're saying, you said we shouldn't eat any animal meat. What about used animal products like wool and milk and eggs? Or technically not eggs, but yeah.
Are there alternatives to those products?
Yeah.
So then we probably don't need it. Because we're subjugating another living being. And just like everything else throughout history, there's been moments where slavery, sexism, etc., utilizing those injustices maybe helped a certain group of people advance and make things easier. But if there's alternatives, they shouldn't do it, right? I mean, they shouldn't really do it to start with, but I'm saying that, you know, right now, if we've got alternatives to these products and these products inflict mass amounts of suffering to 90 billion sentient beings on Earth every single year, then wouldn't it be?
This is not that insightful of an observation, but I just want to point out that Cam is awesome. Like, he is so good at it. He's so good at this. And his patience and the sheer amount that he knows is very impressive. His willingness to work with these young people and talk to them is really good. We are lucky to have him.
Better to use the alternatives?
Yeah, it would probably be better.
So what about for you? Do you think that you have any particular reason that you could share of why you feel from this moment on, as another brother in Christ, aiming to live and bring the kingdom of heaven on earth, why you would continue to consume or use animal products?
Let me think about that.
We're watching it sped up, by the way.
I have nothing again. I don't know anything.
Yeah, because it's not necessary. So I encourage you, as I mentioned, I don't know if I did mention or not, but I think I did. I'm a Christ follower myself. So I would love for you to come watch our film, Christspiracy, because like you were just doing, going through your mind and asking yourself all the silent questions and trying to understand what you thought about that. I've been doing that for the last 15 years, and it's become a film called Christspiracy. And this film explores the question, is there a spiritual or ethical or right or compassionate way to kill an animal, to consume it? Because many of us, we eat animals and we use animal products, but we don't think about the killing, the suffering, and the death that's behind it. And I think if we asked a simple question like, what would Jesus do? It may illuminate whether this is right or not, especially in 2024. So back to the fish element, like let's say Jesus did utilize the fish, as the scripture says in different places, but like I said, it also is devoid of mentioning the fish, even from.
I got an eyelash in my eye earlier today in the corner, and I think it scratched my eye. So now I have a sore eye. So if y'all want to pity me or, tell me nice things, feel free.
Jesus' own words, but let's say that he did. He's a desert dwelling Hebrew in a herding culture where it's very, very difficult to grow plant food. And if a being 2,000 years ago.
All right, have a good walk there, Nilf. Make sure if you see any squirrels or raccoons in need of help, that you help them.
Living in the desert in a herding culture can be so compassionate. And what this film explores.
Thank you, Felix. Thank you.
The crux of this film is the moment when he goes into the temple on Passover and flips the tables. They're selling animals for sacrifice for Passover. And we explore that moment from a historical perspective to understand what actually really truly happened then. And was there something about the animal sacrificial aspect that we've missed? And so I guess the bigger question is, if someone like Jesus could do that back then, what does that mean ethically about how we should view animals, especially nowadays when we have so many other alternatives and we're not living in a desert dwelling culture 2,000 years ago. We have modern technology and we have food growing all over planet Earth and the ability to transport it everywhere to every corner of the earth.
I just thought it was weird. So, like, speak about the animal sacrifices. What about those? Like,
Nilf, please tell the bunnies hello from me as well. Say specifically from me. I love rabbits. Aren't they the best? I love seeing bunnies. They run around near where I live too, and it's always a little worrisome because they get in the road. But most of the time, they're very quick. So they are survivors.
what is your opinion about that?
Well, my opinion isn't as important, I think, as Christ's opinion. And he said, I desire mercy, not sacrifice, when he quotes Hosea 6:6. And he says, go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. And when you go look at Hosea 6:6, he goes on to say, for obedience is better than burnt offerings. So what I feel is Christ and all the prophets condemn animal sacrifice and say that it was never what God actually wanted.
Nice.
Because Baal, Moloch, these other gods that they were following in the wilderness, they were sacrificing animals to those gods, sacrificing children to those gods. So if an evil, say entity, fertility worship with all of the bloodletting, I call it blood ritual sorcery sacrifice, that sounds like, does that sound more like satanic or more godlike? Blood ritual sorcery sacrifice.
Satanic?
Yeah. So this is something my argument would be, and if you read the scripture and you come across verses like Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 22, he says, God never commanded sacrifices or burnt offerings when he brought you out of Egypt. So he's saying the Passover, which is the sacrifice that they did when they were leaving Egypt, he was saying God never commanded that. And then Amos 5:25 goes on to ask rhetorically, did you ever perform sacrifices to me in the wilderness? And it's a Hebrew rhetorical question with the implied answer being no. They never sacrificed animals when they were wandering the wilderness. They were eating the manna. So these sacrificial rituals, like you said earlier with divorce, there are these elements that are added into the text by the Levitical priesthood, and they're these concessionary things that the culture thinks God wants, but all God really wants is a obedient heart. What did Christ say when he's asked what's the greatest commandment? To love God. God is one, to love him with all your heart, soul, mind, and understanding, and to love the other as yourself. Are animals others?
Yeah, I know we're commanded to, like the creation mandate, Genesis 1 something, I forgot the reference, but we should take dominion over all the earth, and we have dominion over the animals.
So what does dominion mean?
It's like when you have dominion over something, we should take care of it, make sure it doesn't fail, make sure that it maintains itself correctly or right.
So do you think it's caring to kill an animal to eat it? Or for instance, what if I told you dominion is first introduced in Genesis 1:26 and 27, and then right after that is the famous verse we just discussed earlier, Genesis 1:29, where God says that he gave us herbs and seed-bearing plants for food. So is herb and fruit eating dominion, does that sound like a license to kill?
No. But I just have one more thing, and then I'm out of here. So when the Israelites were in the desert, God gave them manna and quail, right? So doesn't that imply that he is fine with us eating meat?
Well, let's pull up again, open Numbers. This is a fun one. I'm glad you brought this up. You know your scripture really well, huh? So pull up Numbers. I believe it's Numbers chapter 11. Quail from the Lord.
God, he is my favorite books. I couldn't do this. I couldn't be like, hey, turn to page, chapter 4, page 30. I don't know how he retains this knowledge. I mean, I guess if you focus a lot of your attention on this one book, as a lot of Christians I think do, then you'll get to know these scripture passages and where to find them, I guess, especially if you have an intense focus on this aspect of it.
Read down that chapter for me if you don't mind. And I know you probably got to go to class, but let's do this because you're
in class.
Referencing this account from, I believe, Deuteronomy.
You're in the only class that matters. Like I guarantee you, the class that he's in right now, he's learning way more than the college professors at whatever campus they're at will teach him in the 4 years that he is going to be on this campus. He will learn not nearly as much of value during that entire time as he's getting from this 27-minute conversation.
But let's read it here from Numbers.
Verse 4, the rabble with them began to crave other food. And again, the Israelites started wailing and said, if only we had meat to eat. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt at no cost, also the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. And now we have lost our appetite. We never see anything but this manna. When the dew settled on the camp at night, the manna also came down. Moses heard the people of every family wailing at the entrance to their tents. Where can I get meat for all these people? They keep wailing to me, give us meat to eat. I cannot carry all these people by myself. The Lord said to Moses, tell the people, consecrate yourselves for preparations for tomorrow when you will eat meat. The Lord heard when you wailed, if only we had meat to eat. We were better off in Egypt. Now the Lord will give you meat and you will eat it. You will not eat it for just 1 day or 2 days or 5 days or 20 days or for a whole month until it comes out of your nostrils and you wilt it. Because you have rejected the Lord, who is among you, and have wailed before him, saying, why did we ever leave Egypt? Now wind went out from the Lord and drove quail in from the sea. It scattered them up to 2 cubits deep all around the camp, as far as a day's walk in any direction. All that day and night and all the next day, the people went out and gathered quail. Then they spread them out all around the camp. But while the meat was still between their teeth and before it could be consumed, the anger of the Lord burned against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague. Therefore, the place was named Kibroth Hatzav, because there they buried the people who had craved other food.
So reading.
Damn, that is vegan as fuck right there. Why are people believing that we're supposed to eat animals with passages like that?
That story, do you gather that God wanted them to eat the quail? So framing it a little more, they were begging for meat because they missed it because they used to have it in Egypt, but now they're in the desert. God was guiding them and he was providing them manna.
Then they ate it and he said, fuck y'all. That's what he did. That's what God said.
Which is a plant-based food as far as we can tell. And they begged and begged for meat. So the quail fell all around the camp so much that it came out of their nostrils, and then they were struck with a plague. And then they named the place after the people who begged for other food.
All right. You have been convinced I'll become vegan. Like, okay.
What?
No, but seriously, I'm not just trying to convince you. I want you to think about it from within yourself. So think about what we've been talking about today. Are you free tonight to come to the film screening? This was a Netflix documentary, and Netflix actually tried to censor it. It's a really, really, really good film, and it dives into these questions from a deep level.
What? That's awesome.
And we
I
don't
love that he's talking about his own film. He's like, it's a really, really good film. It is, by the way. It's just funny how he said that.
Christianity. We look at all the 5 major religions take on how we treat animals, but it's got a powerful message of Christ that comes through the entire message. And specifically, like I said, about the temple cleanse incident, which is one of the most historically documented incidents or events in the life of Jesus. So it's really, really powerful what's uncovered. And in fact, what I'll say without giving too much away is there's a statement made by Jesus, which we go into in the film. What he says in the temple has been mistranslated for 2,000 years. And through speaking with Oxford professors, experts in biblical Hebrew hermeneutics, archaeologists, translators of the Dead Sea Scrolls, we come to realize what this mistranslation really meant and how it transforms and rewrites everything we know about history of Christianity in regards to animals. And not only that, but we learn more about Jesus of Nazareth and the mistranslation of what was actually Jesus the Nazarene and who the Nazarenes were and what they were about. And it's been covered up for history. That's why we call it the biggest cover up in 2,000 years.
Wait, when is the time?
It's at 5:45 is when we're asking people to be there. The film will probably start right around 6, but I recommend getting there at 5:45. I'm going to have a Q&A afterwards, and there's going to be free food.
I am. I'll come, or I'll try.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. What's your
I
name again?
wonder if he went.
David? King David.
He was pretty he did his pushback and stuff, but he seemed like he absorbed some of that. He seemed like a open-minded guy. And again, Cam, so good, Cam. My God. So that was incredible. I put the link to it. That's Christspiracy on YouTube. That's Cameron Waters, who made Christspiracy, which if you haven't seen, I know most of y'all have seen this, but great film. It's one of those films that I just wish more people would see, and that would have been awesome if it had been on Netflix. But as you described earlier, that Netflix had tried to censor the film, so they took it off and they decided to release it themselves. Of course, that means fewer people get to see it, but they get to see it unadulterated. All right. Well done. Okay. All right. Jade for Justice put out a good one. She went on some guy who I had to look up. I have not watched this yet. I started to watch it, and as soon as he got to, I'm going to ask you a question, I stopped. I said, save this for the stream. So we're going to react to this fresh. I have seen this kid before. This is like a kid who debates with Trump supporters and makes them look stupid. But I imagine, just based on the very beginning of this video, he's going to end up looking pretty stupid himself. So let's check it out. And good job, Jade, for getting on this, whoever he is. I mean, I have seen him before. So, yeah. But anyway. All right, let's check this out. I want this in regular time. Let me make sure it's normal speed. All right. Let me put Jade on the screen. Jayesh, you still have time. Wait, before we get started, let's check the ranking board to see how people stand so far. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, we've got 4 people tied for first right now. Honest Doubter, Nilf, Mary, and Lewis. Nilf isn't even here. He took a walk and he's still at the top. Amazing. Jayesh is late. He got here though. He's still got 50 XP. Kane Defends Animals lagging behind because he's slacking in the gym right now, working out. So lazy. He could be in my stream right now getting XP points. Instead, he's at the gym pumping iron. Slacker, man. Okay. All right. Anyway, that's where it stands right now. All right. Let's check this out. And guys, you're going to cringe right at the beginning. If you're anything like me. Hang on.
Let's see who we can load in. Let's go and see who we can load in. Okay, everybody. We're going to go to get Jade for Justice loaded into the stream. Keep in mind, if you are in that queue, make sure that you're at least 18 years old, as well as Joe. Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal, man. Joe says, no worries, Joe. No worries, man. Thank you for the $20. Let's show some love to Joe down below in that comment section. Thank you.
First of all, I have to say, why do people deliver lines in this way? This exaggerated radio voice is so fucking annoying. And okay, I've been following the Johnny Somali stuff. Some of y'all know who that is, the Johnny Somali the Vitali shit. So anyway, there is this channel called Legal Mindset, and it's a great channel. I'm not trying to throw shade. I like his channel. I like that he's exposing Johnny Somali and Vitali and all their foibles, right? But he does this same radio delivery, and it's so goddamn annoying when he's doing his lives. It's like, hang on.
Thank you so
Let's
much.
listen to that again.
Okay, everybody, we're going to go to get Jade for Justice loaded into the stream. Keep in mind if you are in that queue, make sure that you're at least 18 years old, as well as Joe. Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal, man. Joe says, no worries, Joe. No worries, man. Thank you for the $20. Let's show some love to Joe down below.
Oh my God. All right, here's my impression of this. Okay. All right, guys, coming up here on the next video, I'm going to check the rankings. It looks like Lewis is the #1. Congratulations, Lewis. Like, who does that? Who talks like that? It's so annoying. Oh, Mary coming up. Yeah, like, stop doing that shit. It's so irritating. How old is this kid anyway? He looks like he's like 15, which is fine, whatever. But like,
the comment section. Thank you so much,
I'm
Joe.
doing that.
What's going on, Jade for Justice?
Okay.
You support Trump?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can. Are you MAGA?
So I'm actually apolitical, but I'm just curious because you speak against oppression and for liberation. So I'm wondering
Vegan.
why you are not vegan yet.
So, okay, I've seen up to this point and decided to stop right there. So now it's all fresh from here. So I just think it's interesting that he already knew where this was going, which means he's already engaged in this before. He is this person that people on the left have revered for his great, I don't know, like kind of sarcastic takedowns of Trump supporters. And now here he is, knowing already where this is going. Jade for Justice. I said you say you're against the oppression of animals. Here's just more fucking leftist bullshit. And I say that again, and I'll repeat this. I am on the left. I am someone who considers myself very far to the left. But goddamn, there's so many hypocrites on the left.
Oh, there we go.
And the right. Okay, but I can call out the left better than I can call out the right because I'm on the left.
Aligning your actions with your beliefs, because isn't exploiting, enslaving, and killing non-human animals still oppression? Doesn't that make you like a hypocrite to support that? What would be stopping you? It sounds like it's in line with your beliefs.
Do you mind
Awesome question, by the way.
if I ask you a single question? Like, listen,
No, it was here. It's here where I paused.
This question is going to come off as like very loud or
I have not heard the question. Let's see what the question is.
rage baiting. But within all reality, I actually want to know your take.
Okay.
Sure.
So do you think that like something such as like the meat industry, which you just said was like enslaving, oppressing, etc., do you think that's morally comparable to something like the Holocaust? What's your take there?
Yes, it is. Okay, let's hear what Jade has to say about this. First of all, yes, it is. Second of all, it's an ongoing Holocaust. Go ahead and, I commented on someone's thing earlier today. Because they had someone had made a comment like about Hitler, saying, oh yeah, Hitler was even Hitler was in favor of animal rights. It was again someone on the left. They were talking about Trump and just spreading Joseph Goebbels propaganda. Like people need to get educated. So yes, it is comparable. Not only that, the Holocaust was inspired by the meat industry. So yeah, Hitler had looked at the Chicago stockyards and modeled his final solution on what he saw in the Chicago stockyards. So not only is it comparable, it's inspired by. The Jewish Holocaust ended, the animal Holocaust resumes. And what's the figure? It's like, so in the, okay, I don't know the exact figure, but it's something like every couple of weeks or something, more animals die than the number of humans that have ever existed. ever existed. So yeah, little twerp dude, yes, it is morally comparable, and you're the one that looks stupid right now, unfortunately. I wonder if there will be moments for all of these people when they look back and just feel deeply ashamed. Remember, we watched, I don't know all of the people who were here for this one, but we watched the Sam Cedar interview. I forget the name of his channel. But ask yourself, Isaac went on Sam Cedar's channel and did Name the Trade on Sam Cedar, and you could see Sam getting visibly distraught and uncomfortable and trying to deflect. And at the end of the video afterwards, when they were reflecting on it, he looked like he was about to cry. And still, he was able to just push it aside and move on to the next topic. And that's exactly what I bet this guy's going to do.
Well, what's happening to the animals does fit the definition of a Holocaust.
Okay, so you do think it's morally comparable, for sure. All right.
I'm not saying, there's been multiple Holocausts throughout history, not just one,
Do you think that it was okay to use violence to stop the Holocaust?
Yeah.
I don't think that that's like the worst thing. Sometimes violence needs to happen to end oppression. And if it's like an oppressor's life.
By the way, I agree with this. There are people that I've worked with who are staunchly anti-violence in every situation.
Versus the lives of an innocent individual that's going to be killed.
I am not. Yes, I believe it was justified to use violence to end the Holocaust, to take out Hitler.
If the oppressor gets to survive, I think that that's justifiable. But I'm still wondering, like, what would be stopping you from going vegan?
Well,
really,
I think this is what is stopping me right here, because if
Eternal Treblinka was not written by Alex Hershaft. Alex Hershaft is a Holocaust survivor. He formed the group Farm, and is a wonderful, wonderful, outspoken animal activist, Holocaust survivor. Eternal Treblinka, which I think I have, right? Where is it? I don't know where it is. I forget the name of the author, but fantastic book. Talks a little, I think Alex is probably in the book. And I would highly recommend, Jayesh, I would highly recommend going back in my channel and finding the episode titled Hitler's Baby Was an Animal Activist, because I feature my friend Liesel, who is featured in the book Eternal Treblinka. Wonderful woman. At the age of 9, discovered her parents were Nazis. She grew up in Nazi Germany. And so she has a section in that book called Hitler's Baby. She was actually dedicated to Adolf Hitler. And I did 2 interviews with her because she didn't realize I wanted to go 2 hours. Wonderful woman. I keep saying this, and it's embarrassing because I keep saying, what an honor, what an honor, what an honor. I keep saying it, but I am so honored by so many of the people that I've had on the channel, and Liesel is right at the top of that. Just amazing.
If you want to say that it's okay to use violence to stop the Holocaust, but yet we have a Holocaust of non-human animals in America today, does this mean that it would be okay to use violence to stop the Holocaust and the genocide of non-human animals in America today by killing people that work at meat plants, by killing people that consume a lot of meat, by like killing people that drink cow milk? But I'm just saying, if that was like the only way to ensure that like this Holocaust stopped, would it be okay to like literally like slaughter like a 10-year-old boy that is drinking milk?
But it's not the only way.
They're a part of this oppressor class committing this Holocaust.
But Dean, it's not the only way. And really, we only have control over our own actions and what we do. So I'm wondering, what is stopping you from not oppressing animals anymore?
Okay. You said it's not the only way. So
this is like an interesting philosophical discussion already. And I'm wondering why he's doing this. Like what's the purpose here? Is this to try to paint the vegan as extreme? Yeah, I don't understand this deflection. Like, this is a fine conversation to be had, but where does this lead? So if Jade said, yes, it's justified, okay, what does this have to do with you? And if she says, no, I'm against violence, you know, then
You're assuming that it was just as necessary as it was in the Holocaust in Germany. Would it thereby be okay to like kill a 10-year-old boy that's drinking some cow milk?
I'm wondering if you can answer my initial question that I came in. Like, why wouldn't you want to stop oppressing animals? You can
'Cause
only have control over your own actions.
I'm pointing out like a big issue within like this vegan view, and you're not picking up what I'm putting down. I'm asking you.
it's not an issue. It's I think, like, you know, if you were like, why does he say this is an issue? He's actually, you know, making a stronger case for animal rights by asking this question. I don't under, you know, he's pointing out that there is speciesism. There would be practical reasons, right? Why, you know, it probably is not a great strategy to, as he put it, murder a 10-year-old boy.
But
To
if the
kind of
only way to
describe this
end-
issue, do you seriously think like if like the use of violence was like just as likely to be the only way to end the animal holocaust in America today as it was like in the Holocaust in Germany? Like, would it be okay to like slaughter 10-year-old boys drinking milk?
So there's still like oppression against minorities amongst humans, right? There's still
You're not
oppression
answering
towards
my question.
Jewish people, but like,
No,
well, but it's-
you're dodging. So that's fine. You can hold her to answering your question, but you should also try and answer her question without resorting to a question. You know, you could have answered the question, here's why I do this, and I speak up for the oppressed, instead of resorting to, no, I'm going to answer your question with the question. You didn't answer her question, Dean Withers.
it's not the only way. Like, if
I'm literally
ending
implying that the
racism-
violence would be just as necessary to end the animal holocaust, quote unquote, as it was to end the actual Holocaust in Germany.
Oh, wait. The actual Holocaust. No, fuck you. No, fuck you. Like, you don't get to claim that. You don't get to say that. You're not a victim. Sorry, you're not. And say you've basically just implied that what is happening to animals is not a Holocaust. So now you're going to need to back that up. Now, you could have said, and maybe he just worded this wrong, what we as a society call the Holocaust. That is a very specific thing. Sure, the Holocaust, right? But we push back on that because the whole Holocaust is happening to the animals as well. And there's been multiple Holocausts, as Jade has pointed out already.
Like, I don't have an answer for this question, but I still don't understand. Like, we don't have to use violence to end racism. Racism still exists. Do you think that we should kill all racists? I don't think that that's the way, but I still think that you should take responsibilities for your actions, because as long as you continue to oppress animals, you are the reason for their exploitation,
Okay.
violence, and oppression.
So keep in mind, you just told me that you didn't have an answer to that question. However, your inability to answer that question tells us like one of two things. The first thing that tells us is that you don't view, right, the slaughter of non-human animals as morally comparable to the slaughter of humans, even though
Yes, she does. She realizes that there are practical implications to the answer that she will give to this question, mainly the one that you're trying to do right now, which is to paint her as an extremist so that she can be dismissed. That's why she's probably not, you know, biting the bullet on this, even though she has already sort of answered your question. When you asked, is sometimes violence justified? She answered that.
you suggested the premise that you do view
No, I do.
the slaughter
I
of
do, and
non-human
I
animals
would,
as
you know,
morally
like,
comparable
if-
to the slaughter of humans. Okay, and now you're
if
saying,
the
I don't know if you're
only way-
reaffirming that you do view it as
No,
synonymous. Well,
Dean. Don't talk over her when she's trying to clarify.
then wouldn't the obvious implication be there for the same way it was justified to like kill like a Nazi foot soldier aiding and abetting in the death camps in Germany in 1938? It would be just as justified to like kill a 10-year-old boy drinking cow milk.
I'm sorry. I need to catch up on that. I haven't been paying attention to the chat. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I didn't expect this to be that engaging. Damn. Sorry. All right, let me, I didn't realize we were going to go here. I didn't realize that. Okay. What's up, Fly Sensei, Sensei? Jonathan Mitchell, 105 billion animals have ever existed. More animals are killed per year, including fish. Oh, I think you meant humans have ever existed. Yeah. Animals are killed, including fish. It's like 3 trillion fish per year, 1 to 3 trillion. Yeah. Charles Patterson, met him in his home decades ago. Rest in peace. I didn't know he had passed away. It's not morally comparable because humans are higher valued on consciousness hierarchy than animals. Perhaps an unpopular opinion here. Oh yeah, you corrected it, Jonathan. Gotcha. I bring this up on their channels all the time. Frustrating. Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, look, all these guys like on the left, like always, they are always just flopping on animal rights, just complete hypocrites. I was watching one of the Gary Yourofsky interview. I think it was the Vegan Gains ones. They were talking about how Gary was like in the heart of Texas, you know, with all these like, you know, Southern boys. And he said that they were far more receptive than the people on the left. And one of the reasons that he gives is because the people on the left already feel like they're doing enough. They've got the coexist bumper sticker and they put the black image for their Facebook profile when Black Lives Matter was happening. And they did all the things, you know, all the lip service bullshit. They did that. So now they feel like they're already morally superior. But if you bring up something that they've done, oh, they get defensive so fast. I don't get that. I don't get that. Like, try to do better all the time, right? Oh, he does dismiss her at the end. Okay. Well, we'll see that.
Yeah, so I do think if the only way to end animal oppression is violence, sure, I would be for it. If the only way to save...
Oh, did she just answer your question? Now what are you going to do with that? Oh, now you've made a face like, wow. Oh my God. So now it's back on you, Dean. Now she's answered it. Now you're the one who has to justify as to why that wouldn't be the case. But of course he's not going to do that. Let's see.
Somebody else is to unalive their oppressor.
You just said that, sure. You'd be for like slaughtering 10-year-old boys drinking cow milk. Yeah.
I did not say that. Actually,
she did not say that. She said if it was a last resort, if she, you know, this is pathetic. This is pathetic weaseling right here. It really is. It really is. I'm just curious though. Like, you know, putting this same scenario, since he's using a child, you know, for emotional effect. Okay. All right. So the 10-year-old boy, right? So is he implying that if there was like a 10-year-old Nazi child about to like shoot a Jew in the head, that would be justified to kill that little boy? Obviously. So now he's just framing it in a different way. Now he's like trying to make it so innocuous as the baby is just like the 10-year-old is just drinking some milk. It's not really comparable though, is it, Dean? You know, maybe you should have framed it as a comparable situation, like perhaps where a little boy was holding a gun up to an animal. And then what would you do in that situation, Dean? What would you do? Like, why don't you answer the questions, Dean? Let's say the little 10-year-old boy was holding up a gun to your dog. Then what would you do? And you had to only, as Jade said, only recourse. If the only way was, then what would you do, Dean? What would you do for your family pet? Huh?
Actually, you said that. I said if
That was
the
a question that
only
I
way,
asked
but
you, and then you said sure.
the thing is, it's not the only way, Dean. It's not the only way. The way is to stop paying for them to be exploited, enslaved, and murdered. And
Yes.
that's what you're doing.
Yes.
But you don't have to.
I mean, this is
You
like
don't
saying
have
that
to
violence
listen.
wasn't.
This is the part where he disconnected me from the live and started making claims about what veganism means. But veganism only means one thing: humans should live without exploiting other animals.
So he weaseled and then he cut you off mid-sentence? What a bitch move.
He goes on to make claims about veganism equating human lives to non-human animals' lives. But to be a vegan, you don't have to equate non-human animals to humans' lives. You just have to recognize that humans have no good justification to exploit other animals. But he wasn't ready to hear that. That's why he disconnected me. It's not the only way. The way is to stop paying for them to be exploited, enslaved, and murdered. And that's what you're doing. But you don't have to.
I mean, this is like saying that violence wasn't the.
This is pathetic. This is straight up pathetic. This is like, I'm with it. Who said it? Who said it? Dean is pissed. Same, Fly. It's just so like ridiculous. You spend all your time on YouTube or Twitter or whatever social media, trying to make people look stupid. That's what you do, Dean, for a living. And, honestly, for some of it, I'm here for it. Because some people make some stupid observations about the world. And now it's you. Now you're the one looking dumb, Dean. Pathetic. Like, go fuck yourself, Dean Withers, you fucking little douchebag.
Only way to stop the Holocaust in Germany in the 1930s. You just need to go in there and educate everybody and tell them that the lives of Jewish individuals matter. Like, listen, man. Like, the purpose of my question is implying.
Wait,
it was.
Wait, are we back? So he cut her off, but okay, so we're still going.
Just as necessary to use violence in the Holocaust in Germany as it would be to use violence in the Holocaust of non-human animals.
So why don't you answer it? Why don't you answer the question that you just posed? And then if you say, no, it's not justified, then give a reason for that.
Holocaust, quote unquote, of non-human animals in America today. And then you said, okay, sure. So like, given that like this same likelihood exists, then your answer here would be that it is okay to slaughter like 10-year-old boys drinking milk. Anyways, Jay. So that's one of my issues with veganism. I have a couple other. I am very sympathetic. I'll say it. I'm very sympathetic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for being sympathetic to the plight of the animals. Like, they would like to extend the message, which is the double fingers. That's what the animals think of your bullshit, Dean.
To veganism. I think that there's a way to frame it where it can make sense. I think that the first suggestion that you have to be able to make in order to make like veganism make sense is to like completely reject the idea that like humans' lives are just as valuable as non-humans' lives. You cannot hold to that. I think that the better position.
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. And in fact, I would argue that in many instances, human lives are less valuable. In fact, like, I know that for a fact, Dean, because you're bringing up the Holocaust, you're bringing up the Nazis. I know for a fact that you think that your dog is more valuable than Hitler. Of course you do. Of course you do. So yes, in many instances, animal lives are far more valuable. And in fact, I would argue that all animal lives are more valuable because look, animals aren't destroying the fucking planet that we live on. Like, it's, God, this is, oh man, one of these days, I keep saying it. I keep criticizing these bitches on the left and then saying, but I'm on the left. One of these days, I'm going to have to renounce that shit and be like, nah, look, fuck y'all. I'm not on the left or the right. Jesus, I'm so annoyed. I didn't realize that was going to trigger me that much. I got triggered. All right. That was fantastic work, though, by Jade. I guess we're still going. Okay, we're not done yet. We're not done.
Would be to hold to the idea that although, right, we do grant non-humans the right to life, like accounting for.
Look, I just am so. I guess I'm just going to repeat myself a lot, but I'm just so disappointed with people on the left. I just find them so disappointing. And I always thought that these are like, you know, the people that always believed in doing the right thing, bettering themselves, for instance, is one of those things, being better. And I can understand when you get confronted with something that you're doing wrong, that you may react defensively. The right thing to do in this instance, Dean, and look, I'm going to say this because he's like a young, I don't even know. He looks like he's like 15. I don't know his age. It doesn't really matter. But the point that I'm making is that if he's this young, like, okay, I was a little twerp at 15 too. So like maybe he will do this. But the point that I'm making is the right thing to do would be to reflect on this conversation and think deeply about it. I doubt that's going to happen though. But it did just happen fairly recently, so maybe he will reflect on it. But it's just pathetic. Just admit you're wrong. Like, we're wrong. When we were murdering animals, that is wrong. It's just a very easy concept. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I really wish that I had someone confront me in this way when I was a 15-year-old little twerp. Or if I was on a college campus like Cam did with that guy. Like, it took so long for someone to say this to me, like to give me the facts. It took so long. And that's so disappointing. And the fucking left. I spent 15 years at NPR. This known to be leftist radio network. Okay? And is it like technically the left? No. But a lot of the people who work at NPR are on the left. Let's just be real. Of course they are. And they believe in things like gay rights and human rights. But it fucking stopped short with the animals, and we didn't know shit about what was going on in animal agriculture, and that's pathetic. It's unacceptable. And what's even more unacceptable is things like when I go back to my old station and I say, since that time, now I've learned all this and this and this, and we got to present this to we've got to get this in front of people. And the response I got was, our listeners can't handle that. Fuck. Like, they can't handle adult conversation. They can't handle the truth. This little kid should fucking watch Earthlings right now. I hope she left him with that. Let's see how it ends.
Vegan position, you don't find them as valuable as humans. Like, kind of,
you have to watch the video. I know, but it's so annoying. It's so annoying because so much of the effort goes into the lip service bullshit all the time. So much. And this guy's made a career of it at like 12 years old.
think of like moral value and like a slider here, like moral value on a scale of like 1 to 100. So you need to like hit like the mark of having like 10 units of moral value in order to have the right to life. And maybe that's the
dude. Stop. Just stop.
Like the mark in which like cows, chickens, and pigs would hit. But just because you have to hit that mark to have the right to life doesn't mean that like all like animals have that same amount of moral value. So maybe although both cows, chickens, and pigs and humans have the right to life, cows, chickens, and pigs only possess like 10 units of that moral value, yet humans possess like maybe 100, right? So like that's still consistent with like a vegan view.
What a pathetic outlook. Like, why do you possess 100 units of moral value and an animal possesses 10? It's so speciesist. Guys, look out for my interview tomorrow. It's going to be a good one.
And I feel like that's a little bit better of a vegan view than suggesting that all like animals have the same amount of moral value, etc. And now there's a lot of people mad at me. They're saying Dean's point is irrelevant. Dean is not cooking. Listen, I'm sorry if I pissed some vegans off, but there is some very serious issues with the conceptions of a lot of vegan positions.
Veganism only means one thing.
Wow. So, yeah, it may not have been vegans that were pissed at you, Dean. It might have been kind of like how when we were watching David Pakman and, he similarly flopped when it came to veganism when Jay I think it was Jay, vegan. Jay from Jersey or somebody called in, and David Pakman just did the most pathetic weaseling job that you could imagine. That clip is called, like, it's so deceptively framed as vegan tries to get me to talk to a cow. Pathetic. But he got excoriated in his chat, and I guarantee you it wasn't all vegans doing that. So yeah, maybe Dean, maybe your viewers who thought you were really smart all of a sudden just saw some holes in your whole persona, your whole compassionate persona, your whole, I'm smarter than you persona with your fucking bullshit radio delivery at the beginning. Fuck you.
Humans should live without exploiting other animals. He goes on to make
I
claims
hate
about
this kid so
veganism,
much.
equating.
Does it not show that I hate this fucking little bastard? I hate him. It's ridiculous.
Point is irrelevant. Dean is not cooking. Listen, I'm sorry if I pissed some vegans off, but there is some very serious issues with the conceptions of a lot of vegan positions.
Veganism only means one thing. Humans should live without exploiting other animals. He goes on to make claims about veganism, equating human lives to non-human animals' lives. But to be a vegan, you don't have to equate non-human animals to humans' lives. You just have to recognize that humans have no good justification to exploit other animals. But he wasn't ready to hear that. That's why he disconnected me.
Oh, man. All right, that was... All right, let's mute that. That was a great job by Jade. I mean, she wasn't really able to get much from him, but she exposed him, and that's part of what it was. What is this? Is this an ad? Horse girly. Okay, anyway. All right, let me get the link to this video. Jade is fucking based. Please make sure you go give her a subscribe and show her some love for that video if you haven't already. Yeah, you'll have to hold me back from that. He's 20? That kid is 20? Man. Okay. Who said that? Fly Sensei is gonna blast his live with vegan stuff now. Send him my regards. If he's live now, send him my regards. Tell him to watch my stream. Oh man. 22? No way. All right, guys. I have something really great. Okay. I know probably a lot of you guys have seen this guy before, but for some reason I never discovered him. This is Plant Geezer. I haven't seen this guy until like a week ago. And I started watching his stuff. So he goes on to farms. He does debates like this one, which we're gonna watch. I watched like some of part 3 of this, but we're gonna watch this fresh. But anyway, this guy's awesome. So let's check out Plant Geezer. He's new to me. Plant Geezer. But yeah, I mean, I just want to say, like, for someone like Jay to be having that kind of impact and identifying the channels to get on and stuff and who to talk to, it's just like Jay did. It's just like the guys have done with that Charlie Kirk guy. It's fucking awesome. Like, wherever you see these fucking hypocrites, go and call them out. Good job, Jade. All right, so this lady comes across like a psychopath in part 3 or 4 or whatever part I was on, by the way. And It's bad. It's bad. So let's see how this started. But she, I mean, she just dodges hardcore.
What's wrong with fair? I
Qualities.
farm cattle and sheep.
I did gather, yeah. So please introduce yourself and a little bit about yourself and where you are and what you do, and yeah.
My name's I'm Harrod Lloyd. I've got a small Welsh hill farm just outside
Hey, Mary, something got in my feed, and it was the plant geezer.
Hay-on-Wye. Farm cattle and sheep and cut our own forage. And I'm the page owner of Farmers Against Misinformation.
Quality. So you're born into the farming industry?
No,
that right?
I married a farmer.
Oh, okay. So you didn't grow up with it. You kind of just adopted it as you got married.
I did grow up in the countryside and worked on farms when I was young.
Yeah, okay.
I was admin for farmers who defend their work to vegans in the first instance. And I felt that was slightly too vegan bashing. You know, I wanted my work to, actually teach people about farming. I enjoy helping people understand the differences in farming around the world, and we do get a lot of vegan presence on the page, which
Can we move on?
Is a good and a bad thing, because then we can see each other's opinions and each other's worries and
No, I understand. Yeah, that's great. So I ate meat for 26 years. I know it's not all about meat, but I didn't have these views up until the age of 26. I'm well aware that people are born into these industries, and I'm well aware that it's been the norm for many, many years. However, I came across many nasty things over the course of 6-7 years. Things that I just didn't ever think of before, mainly to do with dairy and meat, but obviously there is a lot more to it with clothing and testing and things like that. And I got to the point where the things I was seeing were just unacceptable, and I thought, I can't be part of this. But at the same time, I understand that people are born into it. I thought it was normal. I now don't think that it's normal. So I'm not going to look at you.
Which parts don't you think is normal? What subject?
To be honest, I think I'm best asking you. So the page is Vegans Against Misinformation. What misinformation? What examples can you give of misinformation that vegans do spread?
That shearing is bad for sheep. Cattle are raped.
They are. Shearing is a problem that we caused. So yes, I know a lot of people who do sanctuary work, including one who's near me, and they have sheep. And yes, we had a day, I remember, where we were all volunteering to help with the sheep shearing that day because it needed to happen for those animals. And again, that was a problem that we created by selectively breeding the sheep to be that way. And no, we didn't sell they just needed a haircut. But that's not what sheep shearing is. It's not a haircut. And you can look at so many different exposés on the sheep industry. When you are exploiting animals for money, the objective is money. The objective is profit. So what happens is they're doing it, they're trying to do it quickly. Does that mean everybody who's shearing the sheep is going to mistreat the animal? No. But they are 100%, all of them, exploiting the animal, and many of them are mistreating the animal and cutting the animal and rough housing the animal, punching the animal, kicking the animal. And let's just give the industry the greatest benefit of the doubt that these are very isolated incidents. Okay, sure, if they're isolated incidents in the industry, because I don't want isolated incidents like that, because any one time that happens, it's unacceptable.
Slaughterhouses are inhumane. that a lot of anthropomorphism, that, you know, animals know
Wait.
slaughterhouse
Just to
rape.
go back. She said, so one of the mistruths that some of the misinformation that vegans spread is that slaughterhouses are inhumane. Lady, oh God, oh my God. What does she think happens at a slaughterhouse? I mean, like, seriously, what does she think is happening? What are they doing there? How is it that an animal that goes in there fully intact comes out wrapped in little pieces, you know, like little package things, but something humane happened there? What's up, Axel? Nice to see you. Guys, if you're not sub to Axel, do so. Axel's been doing great debating, 8-hour debates lately. It's awesome. So make sure you sub to Axel.
Slaughterhouses are inhumane. That a lot of anthropomorphism, that, you know, animals know as they're walking into the slaughterhouse, they know what's going to happen. The slaughterhouse.
Let me read that.
Slaughterhouse, they know what's going to happen.
Cows are highly perceptive animals, and there is strong evidence suggesting that they can sense distress, blood, and even death, particularly in environments like slaughterhouses. Not too long ago, I was tasked with reviewing slaughterhouse footage, and hours 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 of slaughterhouse footage. And yes, the animals knew what was going on. In fact, oftentimes they could see it directly in front of them. It was happening directly in front of them.
The slaughterhouses, I don't know why people put that on the farmers. The farmers are never there.
I think I've been watching the more on it.
The farmers are never there. You know, the government do the gas chambers, you know, gas chambers. Yeah. A lot of poultry.
You realize that these things are on film, right? Like, this is just someone who is very dim. Very dim. I don't know who she is and why she's, I mean, I don't know how this came about, but this lady's got no business debating. I assume he got, I assume he invited her to come on or something so that he could expose just how bad this is. Yeah.
And pigs are killed with carbon monoxide. You know, gas chambers. Slaughtered.
Okay.
I feel they just, you know, it's that they all go to sleep together.
What?
Agony and desperation.
I mean, I'm sure there are some instances where the
Agony and desperation.
I mean, I'm sure there are some instances.
That was a little clip of Joey Carbstrong's gas chamber investigation. It's probably from Pignorant, which is a film on Amazon Prime. You can go and watch or rent or whatever, you know, buy. And yeah, it's documents Joey and a couple other people going in to install cameras inside the gas chambers. Was a very dangerous operation. In fact, there was one point in the film where they noted that at one point when they went back to look at footage, they noticed that the machine had been turned on, which is like this gondola that's turning. And so had they actually been on the machine at the time when that happened, and they were lucky that they weren't, they could have easily been very seriously injured and likely killed. So this was a very dangerous operation that they did to show the world that, yes, these things exist, which we already knew because it was shown in Dominion, and DXC has exposed it in California. And hello, like, open your eyes, lady. These things exist. People aren't just making this shit up like it's pie in the sky. It's so annoying because, you know, you watch that film, you've seen like the danger that they put themselves in so that people like this lady will understand, yes, these things exist. But as begun, if it's not apparent already, this lady's not too bright. Not too bright. Not much going on up here. That's going to be exposed if it hasn't already. They go to sleep together. I cannot believe that statement. Like, how ignorant can you possibly be? Yeah. I didn't realize I was going to be so aggravated during this stream. I apologize if I'm coming across with a bit of an edge today. But I mean, that Dean Withers, oof. And now her. I should have spaced this out better.
Is whether gas mixture isn't correct, and there is some suffering towards the animals, and that should not be allowed. I'm all for no cruelty.
Oh.
And humane practicing.
Are you against bullfighting for entertainment?
That is hard.
Okay, let's go back.
Loud. I'm all for no cruelty and humane practicing.
No cruelty.
Are you against bullfighting for entertainment?
That's hard.
That is hard.
That is hard.
Going into
It's hard.
No, it's hard going into other countries, looking at their cultures and saying it's wrong.
Is it?
Okay.
It's not hard for me. It's wrong. Is that hard? Why is that hard for you? You can't look at some cruelty that's going on in some other place and say that's wrong. Well, I don't live where you live, lady, and I know what you do is wrong. Not hard. Pretty easy. Pretty fucking easy.
And then, so if I said to you,
they eat dogs. Koreans eat dogs. Is that wrong?
Well, if I said to you, in Yemen there is no laws on child marriage.
Hang on.
Okay, then. So if I said
Korea,
to you,
they eat dogs.
Korea, they eat dogs.
Koreans eat dogs. Is that wrong?
Yes. Yes. That's a weird one to bring up because I feel like most people in wherever she lives would probably agree that yes, that is wrong. Those same people, most of the people that say that also eat pigs and chickens and cows, but most of us agree that dogs should be off limits. That's because we're speciesist in favor of dogs over other animals, whereas, by the way, it's been banned in Korea. I don't know if the ban has taken effect yet, but they're ending that in Korea.
well, if I said to you, in Yemen there is no laws on child marriage, do you agree that there should be laws on child marriage?
That's humans. So
that's humans. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, but it's still the law. It's still their culture.
In the Faroe Islands, they eat dolphins. In Korea, they eat dogs, and it's racist to say they shouldn't do that.
Oh, it's racist to say. No, actually, it's bullshit to try to play the race card using other races. I hate it. I hate it when people try to use the race card for other races. Like, you don't get. Look, people who are abusing animals should not be able to use the race card, period. But fucking these white people trying to use the race card for, like, fuck off with that. Yeah. Oh, it's racist. It's racist. Yeah, you identified a racist here, lady.
It's their culture.
It's our dumbass. It's our culture to eat meat. So wait, it's our culture. Is it racist if I say, okay, here, I figured it out. I know what she's trying to say. When I told my family that we should not be eating animals, that was racist. Even though they were the same race as me, it's still racist because that was their culture and my culture, by the way. And I said, yeah, we shouldn't do that. So that's racist. Yeah. I got it. Okay. I just wanted to logically understand her. Oh, yeah. I know. It's so bad. It's so bad, guys. This one is let's be honest, it's great entertainment, isn't it? At least that. Yes, listen to Axel right now. Everyone make sure to like the stream. Let's just real quick, because this is exhausting, isn't it? Real quick. Let's run the numbers on you guys. Let's see who's performing the best in the chat. All right, it's once again, we got a tie up at the top with Lewis and Mary. I want to pose a question to the rest of the chat. Are y'all okay with that? Are you guys okay with being bested by Lewis and Mary? Well, if that doesn't sit well with you, then you should smash the like button and leave a bunch of comments and chats and whatever. Just, don't let Mary push you around. She's a bully, Mary's a bully. Don't take that shit from Mary. Don't let her do that to you.
But it's their culture in Yemen to marry children. So if you're going off culture and saying that it's okay for certain cultures to do certain things, you must then admit that it's okay for them to marry children.
No, there is no crossover there at all.
Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. It's exactly, he's using exactly your logic, lady.
You're saying that if it's
actually,
a population,
you're racist. That was racist. Wow. Oh, racist. Ew, guys, she's a racist.
Culture, then it's okay. That's what you're saying.
If it's another country's national dish, you keep this is it. Humans are different from animals.
But yeah, but I'm just using the culture argument.
Of course, yeah. Of course, it is wrong to have child marriage in Yemen. It is not wrong to eat.
Racist. What a fucking racist. How dare you, lady? That's their culture. What ridiculous. Playing geezer, kick her off, please. I wish I could move her over to the right so that we didn't have to look at this racist. Lewis left? Unbelievable.
Dogs in Korea or dolphins in the Faroe Islands.
I just, it's really weird to get people defending the dolphin hunt.
Or whales and seals in the northern Arctic Circle. That's not wrong.
Guys, check out my interview with Jerry Vlasic from the other day, about a week ago. He was one of the people who went with Paul Watson on the Sea Shepherd to stand between people trying to club baby seals. And he said, they're doing it to buy these Ford F-150 pickup trucks. It's not about culture. It's not about they make money off it. It's not a culture thing. It's a bullshit thing.
All for no cruelty.
And it wouldn't matter if it was a culture thing. If your culture is cruel, change your culture.
There is a big difference between humans and animals.
And so humans are different to animals.
Okay, we got that. There's a difference between humans and animals. We got it. Okay, I don't think it really matters, but yeah, you're also different from him. There's a big difference between him and you. So I think it's okay to do whatever to you, right? Because listen, there's a big difference between him and you. He actually has a penis. Do you have a penis, lady? Answer that. Do you have a penis? Do you have a penis, lady?
Just ask what, apart from sheer luck, and just the fact that you were born into that body, what gives us the right to have dominance over a dog or a cat or a sheep or a cow just by pure chance? Because I'm sure that if you were to rewind before birth, and
please don't say intelligence, because I know that every dog that I've interacted with is more intelligent than you, lady. I know this.
You were about to enter the world and you didn't know what you were going to be, I'm sure that you would want, regardless of what you were going to be born into, you wouldn't want to have evil inflicted upon yourself. Is that
evil?
Right? Is that
evil?
Right?
Sorry.
I like the splicing of the images, and that's a nice touch.
I think we are food. Everyone is food. Everything is food for something else. We are all food for something else.
It can be, yeah. I could eat my dog now. I could eat my dog, but I'm not going to eat my dog.
Could?
There's no need to inflict misery on a being. So
so we will be eaten. It's the
Yeah, lady. You'll be worm food one day. We get it. Sure. Yeah. After you died, presumably. Yeah, after you've passed away. Yeah, you'll return to the earth. We understand it. This is not a profound point you're making. Oh, God. I can't.
cycle of life. It's the nature. We will be eaten by bugs and worms.
So are you saying that just because my body will get buried and eaten by worms, I can do whatever I want to animals who can't defend themselves? Is that what you're saying?
Intoxicating.
Or everything must be treated humanely and looked after well until they are slaughtered to eat.
In this country, forget other cultures. So in this country, forget laws, your own moral framework.
Are y'all going to take that from Lewis? Just dipping in and taking the #1 spot. But I just have to point out that, and I'm sorry, I will return to paying attention to the debate. I just have to point out that it's a tie, even though it says Lewis is #1. If you click on the crown up at the top, you can see the numbers. And it's a tie between Mary and Lewis at 150 XP. I don't know why they keep giving it to Lewis or why they give it to Mary or what, I don't know. But my numbers read 150 each. So that's a tie. And then Honest Doubter coming in hard at #3 with 125. Nilf, even though he took a walk, still somehow managed to get 100 XP. 100 XP, triple dig XP, somehow. I don't know how he did it. Ask Nilf how he did that. You don't see the crowns fly? Okay, fly. When you go to the chat, go to the top. Wait. Can some people not see the crowns? They'll be so lost if you can't see the crowns. There should be a crown at the top of the chat. And if you click it, you'll see the numbers. I don't know. Maybe it's like a new, I know it's a new feature, so maybe it's just completely like not running properly. I have no idea. Wait, hang on. I clicked the wrong thing.
I have got a field at the back of my house and I raise balls to be set alight and ran at each other and eventually stabbed for entertainment. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I disagree with that, but then it's banned, isn't it? Hasn't it been banned?
Well,
I don't know enough about it.
Racist.
To be fair, because that's Spain and not here.
So okay, so
you can't say, oh, we're talking about the UK and then not talk about the UK.
In this country, forget other cultures. So in this country,
you can't say, oh, we're talking about the UK and then not talk about the UK. Which are you talking about?
We've agreed on that point that it's wrong to use a ball for entertainment. Dogfighting.
No, I didn't say for entertainment. I said to be burnt.
Be set alight and ran at each other and eventually stabbed for entertainment. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I disagree with that.
Oh, God. Okay, so are you against dogfighting for entertainment?
I've never seen a dogfight, and there's no dogfighting in the UK.
There is a lot of dogfighting in the UK. Are you for or against it?
It's against the law. Of course I'm against it.
So if it wasn't against the law, you wouldn't be against it?
These people who appeal to the law, it's so annoying. Oh, it's against the law. That's not the question, lady. You're not debating the law right now. You're debating ethics. Did you not get that? Did you not get the memo?
No, that's not what I said at all.
Look, I just want y'all to take a look at this line, because that is going to turn into the Grand Canyon.
Well, I'm asking you. You just said that it's against the law, so you're against
I've
it.
never seen a dogfight. I don't think there is dogfighting.
No, but I am telling you 100% there is dogfighting. Do you agree or disagree with dogfighting?
I disagree with dogfighting.
Lovely, that's 2.
Wow. We're getting somewhere. Nice job, playing geezer.
Number 3 would be unnecessarily using an animal for clothing. So you walk in the shop, you see a coat that you like, and you see another coat that you like, and you look at the one coat and someone's...
This is well structured, by the way. This is like, setting things up really well. I feel like he came to this really prepared. I know some of y'all have complimented my recent interviews, which I think were cool interviews, but I think there's a common denominator in some of my recent interviews that I am doing a really poor job of structuring the interviews. So we'll be bouncing back and forth here and there. And I'm saying in the middle of the interview, yeah, I didn't structure this properly. That could be solved with just the tiniest amount of prep. But in any case, that whole point being that I feel like Playing Geezer here, I feel weird saying Playing Geezer, even though that's his channel name. I don't know his name, because I'm new to the channel. I just feel like he prepped nicely. Seems like it. Or he's an incredible quick thinker.
That is the fur from a dog from Canada. Or you could choose the cruelty-free one. Which one would you choose?
It could also be the B-22. I feel like we don't talk about B-22 enough. Do you see vegans talking about B-22? No, they don't want to talk about it. You know why? Because we know that we lack B-22 on a vegan diet.
I would choose the fur one.
Yeah,
I'm all for no cruelty.
I was more saying that just to make the point that Plant Geezer has done a really nice job. I do kind of, for my interview, I know this, I'm diverting, but I sort of purposely don't prepare much. It has served me well over the years to not over prepare for interviews. That may sound lazy, and honestly, I'm going to be completely honest, it may come from an honest place, but it has served me well, because then you're approaching the interviews with a fresh mind, and you're kind of forced to listen, instead of if you structure an interview where you've got a list of questions and you've got it on your sheet. Well, instead of listening to the person talking, you're just waiting to get to the next point. It's something that it doesn't mean you will do that. If you're skilled, you can do both, but I don't know. I'm just saying it served me well to not come with a giant plan or anything.
You would choose the one that was cruel to dog.
Is it cruel?
Why would you choose that one and not the cruelty-free one?
Because it's much better for the environment. The plastics in fleece in the plastic clothing is really bad.
I like close up on it.
Fleece in the plastic clothing is really bad.
Hang on. We got it.
Fleece in.
He is all of us right now. This should be a meme. Can we meme him? This is the face when they bring this is exactly the face when they start saying the plastics. Oh man. I like him a lot.
The plastic clothing is really bad for the ocean. Our clothing is so bad for the planet. What's wrong with leather? What's wrong with fur? What's wrong with fleece?
Do you
It's
think
so
that you,
good. It's such good.
It's such good. Oh God.
It's such good. I'm all for no cruelty.
Oh God, guys, that was part 1. There's 5. We will continue. Let's continue on. Open link in new tab. Let's do that. My goodness. Part 2. Y'all ready? Wait. Let me unmute. Let's take a... Are we good? It says I lost connection to the audio. Okay, hang on. Can y'all hear this? Can y'all hear that? Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, man, this is so good. Let's just get a wellness check. Oh, no audio. Okay. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I'm going to solve this problem. There's my face. Did that help? Did it help to see me up close? I'm just kidding. Present. Share screen. Hang on. Get that. Present. Share screen. Neil, come on now. Come on. That was terrible. Nilf got me. B32. 32? I only thought it went up to 22, but yeah.
your skin ripped off?
How's that?
Oh, for God's sake.
Audio?
They're not ripped off. They're dead. And how to feel.
What's his name?
Meow, meow. No.
It's not.
Hear it?
No.
It's not.
No. It's like murder. You can't murder an animal. You can't rape an animal. I do not intimidate them.
Have you always been a violent person?
I'm not violent.
All right, we're caught up. How's everybody doing? You guys okay? I know that was a lot. We've gone through it. We've been through Dean Withers. That was tough. That was really tough. And then we went through part 1 of this. I just are we okay? Are we how are we feeling before we continue? She's not violent. Yeah. All right. Well, nobody said they couldn't handle it, so we're going to carry on.
Do you think that you'd feel differently if you were the victim having your skin ripped off?
Oh, for God's sake. They're not ripped off. They're dead when their skin is ripped off. They don't care.
Not according to the videos that I've seen. Not the videos on my phone.
Yeah, is that the one with PETA? Yeah.
There's all kinds. I've got
PETA. Was that the one with PETA? Oh, you guys are going to like my interview tomorrow.
I've got footage from around the world. Minks getting beat to death, skinned alive. Rabbits getting skinned alive. I'm not saying they all do. I'm just saying, not that it matters
PETA
anyway, because we shouldn't be taking.
PETA paid for that video.
PETA
for that dog to be skinned.
PETA paid
for
for that video. PETA. Why do people say PETA? I've heard this before. I've even heard it from animal rights people. It's PETA. Who says PETA?
I've got all kinds of footage. Don't worry. I've seen it all.
In first world countries. In first world countries.
Are you saying that you would deliberately be cruel to an animal and choose?
I've never been deliberately cruel to an animal.
Wouldn't funding the fur industry be funding cruelty to an animal?
How?
Because you're buying
it's humanely based.
You're buying their skin.
I buy that. Why is buying their skin cruel?
Well, if it was your skin,
it's
would
the
it be
same
cruel?
as eating them. If what?
If you were the victim, would it be cruel then?
If I was dead, why would I care?
Yeah, I think I don't.
All right, lady. we will put you in a little cage, a little tiny cage. I'm going to describe the fur farm right now. We're going to put you on a little cage with like 3 of your buddies. You get to share that cage, okay? With all the 3 of you, just crammed in there together, running around in circles, right? And at some point, some guy's going to come, pull you out of the cage one by one. And keep in mind that you have eyes and ears, so you will be able to see this. You will see your friends or the people that you shared your little cage with taken out of there, unless you're the first, lucky enough to be the first. If you're not lucky enough to be the first, you'll see the first one taken out, anally electrocuted. You'll hear that bzz. You're going to hear that, you know? And then a little dead body flopped over. And, you at your current level of intelligence, I'm elevating your intelligence to that of a mink right now, because I don't think you would understand what's going on. I'm pretty sure the mink can understand what's going on, knowing that they're next, which is why they fight when they're handled. They don't want to get out of the cage. And of course, they actually want to be out of there entirely. But when they see their buddies getting anally electrocuted, it's like, nah, don't pull me out of this. So yeah, anyway. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. I don't know. Lady, would you like that? Would that be fun? Would that be nice? I don't think so. I don't think it would be very nice. I think you might hate that. I think you might side with Plant Geezer on that one. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen the film EO, I really highly recommend it, because it did one of the most incredible portrayals of a fur farm from the animal's perspective that I've ever seen. It was really intense and really well done. EO.
I think there's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on. I think that what you're saying is to back up your beliefs that were given to you, that being that you can do what you like and exploit animals. I genuinely don't think that
you shouldn't tell me what I think and what I feel.
But that's just my opinion. I've spoke to a lot of people regarding this, and I genuinely don't think that you. I think that what you're saying.
Don't tell me how to think and how to feel.
So let's move on anyway. Have you killed animals yourself, or?
I have.
You have.
And I know that was a joke, Nilf, but I put it in there just to help you out still. EO. Mary thinks she would like that. Yeah, she might like that. She might be into that kind of thing.
With a gun.
Yeah. And
go hunting for rabbits.
What animals do you kill?
Only rabbits for the pot.
Oh, we were just talking about rabbits. Imagine being a beautiful rabbit. Rabbits are so awesome. And then you get shot by this thing. Oh, man. What a way to go. I told y'all that Grand Canyon it's forming. The tougher the questions get, the deeper the canyon gets.
Yeah. So why do you feel the need to bully rabbits? Why do you feel the need to exploit and kill little baby rabbits?
I don't bully them. There's too many of them, and
that's true. Bully probably would be too soft of a word for what you do to rabbits, which is shoot them.
I cull them, and I put them in the pot and I eat them. I've never been deliberately cruel to an animal.
Okay, and why do you think that's acceptable? If you're a person who is against, are you against violence? Are you a nice person? Have you got a heart, or what?
What is wrong with culling rabbits, hunting rabbits and eating them? It's what we've done for millions of years. What's wrong with it? I've never been deliberately cruel to an animal.
Do you realise the atrocities that humans have inflicted on other humans for millions of years? And would
Absolutely.
that be okay? And is it okay to carry those on, or is it just the ones that you want?
There is nothing wrong with humanely raising animals and eating them. I've never been deliberately cruel to an animal. And if they're killed quickly, without them knowing what's happening, and without pain.
Have you been to the slaughterhouse? Because earlier you said that
farmers aren't allowed to slaughterhouses.
Yeah, but I'm not allowed in the slaughterhouse, but I've been in one. Have you seen what happens?
You must have trespassed in it.
No, I worked there. I had a job in there.
No, well, there you go then.
Yeah,
Farmers don't. So you've never met a farmer in a slaughterhouse, have you?
No, well, that's what I'm asking. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't be in there.
Guys, just real quick, if you're not subbed to the channel, make sure you sub to the channel and hit the like button and the subscribe. And I know I keep doing that backwards. Like, I said, sub to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I meant to say hit the like button, then the subscribe button, then the bell notification. But anyway, do all those three things if you haven't done them, and try to climb up that leaderboard, you know, that Mary and Lewis are clinging on to. Well, I see people nipping at their heels. But make sure you do all those things. And also, I didn't actually link to the last video, so let me go ahead and put this link in here so that y'all can also do the same for our buddy here, Plant Geezer, who is fucking awesome. Like I said, I've just discovered his channel, and I've watched like 3 videos of him going on to farms and talking to the slaughterhouse workers, and he's just awesome. And part of this debate, which I believe was part 3,
saying, have you been to a slaughterhouse? Because I have.
Well, that's because you work there. Farmers don't work in slaughterhouses.
I didn't say they did. I just said, have you been to a slaughterhouse?
No, why would I?
Well, that's all you have to say. All you have to say was no.
So hang on a second. I thought that she said that she ran a page combating vegan misinformation. And one of the things she said was that slaughterhouses are, one of the things she said that vegans misinform about are that slaughterhouses are inhumane. And now she has admitted that she has never been to a slaughterhouse. So I wonder what footage she's looking at of slaughterhouses. Are they cartoons? Because every bit of footage in every slaughterhouse that I've seen is a complete hellhole. So if she's basing it all on footage, I just wonder what Disney cartoon she's watching.
And then I could have moved on to the point. So can you tell me what you mentioned, you mainly raising and killing? Can you tell me what part of forcing a cow or a sheep into a knockbox, putting a gun over its head, trapping the head so it can't move, tricking them with signage that makes the cow believe that they're entering a field, shooting them, hanging them upside down and slitting their neck? Can you tell me what is nice about that?
They don't know anything about it and they don't feel any pain.
I think you're in serious denial. I think what
do you think they're in pain? Do you think they feel pain having that done to them?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that you can't just learn about slaughterhouses from watching footage from them, but it does help that he's actually been there. He has seen it for himself, and you have admitted that you've not seen it. Maybe you ought to visit one, lady, especially if you're going to run a page where you say I don't even know what is this thing that she was talking about. I should have paid more attention at the very beginning. Is it like a chat? Like it's probably a Facebook group or some shit.
Well, let's just say that they didn't feel pain, because they do.
Okay.
Let's just say they didn't feel pain. Would you be happy to have that done to you at such a short lifespan?
Good question.
I think lifespan has got nothing to do with it. As long as they had a good life, it doesn't really matter how short or long it was. And why do you think they feel pain?
Okay.
If it happened to you, would you feel?
It doesn't matter how long your life was. It's a great argument for murder. Like, Your Honor, it doesn't matter how much I shorten their lifespan. They had a good life. It's okay. It doesn't matter. That's the logic you're using, lady. Murderer goes before a judge, says it doesn't matter how long their lifespan was. It didn't matter. They had a good life, which I robbed them of. But that's not the part that matters.
Pain if it happened to you.
If I got shot in the head, no, I wouldn't feel any pain.
But it
Why
doesn't
would-
matter.
Oh,
Like I
really?
said, even if it doesn't hurt, would you like it happen to you? At what, 2.5 years old is the average lifespan of a cow? Is it?
Rubbish. No.
What
It's at
age?
least what in natural terms?
No, in
or-
natural. I know in natural it's like 20 to 25 years, but your animals,
Before
how old are they when they get killed?
Beef or dairy depends on the sex.
Well, give me an example. Give me an age that you kill them at.
Well, dairy would be, there's plenty of dairy cows that are 10-year-old.
And what about the beef?
Beef, yes, they would be 2 to 3 years old, unless they go
Okay,
on
so
to.
I
be
was right. So I was right when I said that.
Yeah, some are.
Well, you just told me that it
But
wasn't right.
No, I didn't. You need to rewind that back and have another look.
You did. I said they're 2.5 years old, and you said no.
No, I said some are.
Okay.
Rewind it back.
What,
I
2.5
can't.
years old is the average lifespan of a cow? Is it?
Rubbish. No.
I can't. I can't. So let's start fresh. Let's start fresh. So,
Rubbish. No. That's what I'm going to do from now on. Rubbish. Rubbish.
you think it's okay to bully, exploit, and enslave animals, and eventually push them towards their death, 2.5 years old?
I've never bullied animals. There's no such.
You have. How did you kill them?
I go hunting. I've never bullied.
So Nilf says that this is like, she runs an infamous page on Facebook that I guess people know about with a green profile photo or something. So interesting. I didn't know about this.
Animals.
Sorry. I mean,
Death, 2.5 years old.
I've never bullied animals. There's no such.
You have. How did you kill them?
I go hunting. I've never bullied animals. There's no such thing as enslaving animals.
Would you say
And-
that?
okay. In the interview that's releasing tomorrow that I'm putting out, the thumbnail that I've already made and it's already uploaded. It's just scheduled, so it comes out tomorrow. The thumbnail shows an animal so tightly confined in the cage that it's basically their entire the entire. This is a photo. It's not a doctored thing. It's an animal so tightly confined that they're like this. So I would say that that would be enslaving an animal. I think she would agree. I wish I could show her that footage or the photo and ask her if she. I know what she would say. She'd be like, "Well, that's an animal. That's not a human." Rubbish.
Pushing them to their death.
Would you say that shooting a
human?
defenseless rabbit is a form of bullying?
But no, it's not bullying. It's hunting.
Should we get the definition of bullying up? Should we get the
No,
definition?
because it goes. Does it apply to humans? Is it a human behavior?
It doesn't have to apply to humans, bullying. It's just
If you think it's relevant, but it's really not.
to seek to harm, intimidate, or coerce someone perceived as vulnerable. So
Oh,
they're
there's the glitch. Damn.
perceived as vulnerable. So they're definitely vulnerable. Rabbits are
I don't want
definitely
to
vulnerable.
intimidate them.
You
You just got a notification from me now, Mary? How did that happen?
seek to harm them and
Maybe it was
intimidate
the glitch. The glitch sent it.
them before you shoot them.
No,
And
I
bring them home and put
don't
them in your soup?
intimidate them. I do not intimidate them.
Have you always been a violent person, or is it just something that happened when you got married and got born into the industry?
I'm not violent.
How did you kill him?
I go hunting.
It's a good question. I
do
like
not
how he
eat
framed that.
them.
Have you always been a violent person, or is it just something that happened when you got married and got born into the industry?
I'm not violent.
How did you kill him?
I go hunting. With a gun.
Would you say that shooting a rabbit in the head and bringing it home and putting it in his stew is violent, or
No.
it's not?
No.
It's not.
No. It's what we've done for millennia.
Yeah, but regardless.
Yeah, okay. But why do people always say we've done it a long time as though that's a good argument? It's like an unrelated point. Yeah, we've done it for a long time. That makes it even worse, in my view. To me, that's not something that mitigates it. It makes it even worse. Like, I would have liked to have said, I ate animals until I was 17 instead of 34. 34 years of doing the wrong thing is worse than 17 years of doing the wrong thing. And obviously, 0 would be the ideal number. Imagine if, like, when that woman encouraged me to watch Earthlings and said, imagine if my argument had been, well, you should have got to me sooner, you know, because I've done it for 34 years. So it's not violent anymore.
And it's very good meat. Very
Okay,
healthy,
so
free range.
how long ago? How many years have we been hunting rabbits?
Who's we?
When you
What,
say
the
we've
human
been,
race or-
when you say we've been doing it for millions of years, how long is that?
I know, Lewis.
3 million years?
Okay, what if it was 1 million? Would you still do it?
Oh, this is great. All right, sorry, I'm just going to catch up on the chat. I haven't paid enough attention. I know I'm mistaken, Lewis. I will not try to reason with this lady. Have I been? I don't know what you've been doing, Axel. Wasting your life, I suppose. Could have been out there shooting rabbits. Saw a disturbing ad on YouTube the other day, JS, from Cafe advertising animal transport. Huh. Shenanigans, Mary? Spell it right if you're going to spell it. What? Wait, so you're saying you guys got the notifications late to my stream? Well, that's just YouTube fucking around with me, isn't it? That's not good. YouTube? The fuck are you doing? Notify. That's the whole point of your notifications thing. If you're not going to notify, then what's the point of the notify? The point of the notify is to notify. And you can't do it late. It's a false notify.
I don't know where you're heading here, but it doesn't seem like it's going to have a point.
Your justification for doing it was the fact that we'd been doing it for millions of years. So I'm just asking you, how long would it have to not have been for you to stop doing it? So if we've been doing
it's not going to stop though, is it?
No, but I'm just saying, you said that we've been doing it for millions of years. I'm saying, if we was doing it for 1,000 years, would you still do it?
Ow! Oh, sorry, Mama.
Ooh, hang on. That was interesting. Oh, I just bumped into my cat. Sorry about that. Oh, but I thought it's just an animal, lady. What's the problem? It's just an animal.
Length of time has nothing to do with it. It's what we've done for millennia. It's what we've done for millions of
Hang on.
We've been doing it for millions of years. I'm saying, if we was doing it for 1,000 years, would you still do it?
Ow! Oh, sorry, Mama. Length of time has nothing to do with it. It's what we've done for millennia. It's what we've done for millions of years. Length of time has nothing to do with it. Length of time has nothing to do with it.
But you just said you do it because, and it's okay because we've been doing it for millions of years. But now you've just said that time has nothing to do with it.
Hunting is a good thing. Hunting rabbits. It's free range.
It's free range. The fuck? The fuck does free range? I hate these terms. I hate these terms so much. Hunting rabbits is free range, she says. So dumb.
Natural meat, very lean, very good for you, full of nutrition.
Yeah, and
nothing wrong with it. And I haven't intimidated the rabbit or bullied the rabbit.
Axel, you're going to do a 24-hour stream? I had that idea too. And then I realized I really can't do that because I don't think my StreamYard can. We don't have enough room on the StreamYard. Let's put it that way. There's just not enough room for 24 hours. I could do like a 10-hour. And I thought about doing that as like a way to boost the channel. Like, oh, Jeremy's doing a long ass stream. He'll have guests. He'll bring on all the people. People will come on and maybe it will grow the channel faster. But I haven't done it. I'll need to maybe do it. But anyway, everybody go sub to Axel because he's going to do a 24-hour stream. And you know, like it would be downright offensive if we didn't all show up in his stream and try to fight for that top spot. So not sure what day he's doing it, but I'll be embarrassed if I don't show. And y'all should be. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself prior to. Nilf, you could come on. Yeah, that's right. Steven will come on. We'll get Mary on here. J. Ash, Lewis, everybody. Everybody's coming on. Everybody's going to come on the channel because I can't talk for the whole time or watch shit like this the whole time. We might even, if I do that, might have to do some non-vegan content just to stay sane. Really? David did a 24-hour one? Damn it. I was going to try to break the record, you know, because, you know, like Cory Booker did his, how long did he go? How long did Cory Booker give his speech? It was going to be sort of a nod to Cory, the vegan in the Senate. All right, let's resume.
Or enslaved the rabbit or exploited the rabbit.
So you haven't exploited the rabbit, but you have put a bullet in his head.
Yeah.
And that's not.
Tell me what your definition of exploitation is.
Let me give you the definition of exploitation.
Yeah, please give her the definition.
Bullying. So we've come to the agreement that it was bullying.
No, we
exploitation.
No,
yeah, we did.
No,
exploitation is
did not
action,
come to that.
the action or fact of treating someone unfairly in order to benefit from them.
Someone.
Yeah, it's a someone. Was that a little pet? Was that a little pet cat or dog that you had next to you there?
Yes.
Is that a someone?
Do it.
No,
do it.
Why have you gave him or her a name then?
Yeah, why'd you give her a name? And then why'd you apologize when you bumped into her? And we all know from the intro that her name is Meow Meow. Poor Meow Meow. Imagine if you're Meow Meow, guys, and the person who was like controlling your life, because you know she does that, was her. Poor Meow Meow.
He's a pet.
Oh,
what's his name?
Meow Meow.
So it's a someone?
No, it's a cat. Ow! Oh, sorry, Mama.
You know she wanted to be like, yeah, of course Meow Meow's a someone, but she knew if she admitted that she was backed into a corner, so she had to deny it. Weaselly behavior. And you know what, by the way, I keep saying weaselly. I should stop saying that because that is speciesist, isn't it? Weasels are awesome. Like, why are we assigning negative characteristics to a weasel? That was human. That was human-y. That was really human-y, what she did there.
Is there a personality in there? Is there a living individual in there, in the body of the cat?
It's not a human entity.
I didn't say it was a human. I said, is it an individual?
Yeah, there might have to be potty breaks.
A human.
Why does someone have to be a human?
It's a definition in the dictionary. Have another look.
Sleazy.
Right, let's define someone.
It's like murder. You can't murder an animal. You can't
Define
rape an animal.
someone.
Part 3. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. I'm sorry to leave that. Let me stop sharing that. Okay. That was, I know it got worse. I know it got worse. I'm sorry, but I need to find the thing. Do y'all remember, did y'all watch The Office? I know y'all had to have watched The Office. Didn't everybody on the planet watch The Office? But there was that whole like scene where Michael was like doing a presentation and he was doing slides and he slipped in one of him like shirtless or something. And he was like, oh, how'd that get? I feel like I could pull something like that too. It would be photoshopped, but where's part 3? Okay, there it is. There it is. It will be a photo of my head on Vegan Gains' body. Just to be clear. Nobody will know the difference. Part 3. I will. I should try to talk to Richard again soon and like just like it'd be funny if I like took a photo of myself shirtless and then like took a screen grab of him from his videos and then like swapped our heads. That'd be hilarious. I should pursue that.
You have next to you there.
Yes.
Is that someone?
No, it's a cat.
What's his name?
I'm doing
Meow meow.
So it's a someone?
No, it's a cat. Ow! Oh, sorry, Mama.
Is there a living individual in there in the body of the cat?
It's not a human entity.
I didn't say it was a human.
That wasn't the question, lady.
Said, is it an individual?
Someone has to be a human. No, I didn't.
Oh,
you need to
God.
rewind that back and have another look. I've never bullied animals.
Shooting a defenseless rabbit is a form of bullying.
But no, it's not bullying. It's hunting.
That's okay.
Do not talk over me. Do not talk over me.
Do not talk over me. Do not.
That is not the UK either.
I've noticed a pattern with you people. You start to get angry and say, don't speak over me, don't speak over me.
I would like to finish a sentence.
An unknown or unspecified person. As someone is an individual, so it doesn't have to be a human being. Can we not agree that your pet who you gave a name to, who you care for, is an individual?
It said a person. You were wrong. Own
But
it.
they are little people. They're little non-human people.
No, they're not. They're not people.
So
They're not.
what is it? What is it about your cat that would be? Why would it be cruel for me to do something to your cat unnecessarily? Do you love your cat?
All right, Mary.
What do you mean? What would you want to do to my cat unnecessarily? Like what?
Well, I personally wouldn't want to do anything because I'm not that way inclined. But if I did want to do something to your cat,
No.
you strongly opposed it.
No, Nil. I'm not going to shade our skin color. That will make it even funnier.
If you strongly opposed it, why would you oppose me doing something to your cat? Something that unnecessary.
Because I don't know what something is.
You don't what? Sorry.
What something is. I would oppose you to. Yeah, tell me what do you want to do to my cat? What are you
I
referencing
don't want to do
to?
anything to your cat, but what I'm saying is, if I did want to do something to your cat, why is it that you would strongly oppose that?
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I'll play your game. Let's just say I wanted to shoot your cat in the head and eat it and put it in a stew. Why would you strongly oppose that?
You don't want to. Eating carnivores is really dangerous.
No, it's okay because I want to do it. If I wanted to shoot your cat and eat it, why would you strongly oppose that?
Because I own the cat, and it would be dangerous for you to eat a carnivore. It's very dangerous for us to eat cats and dogs.
What if you didn't? What if you didn't own the cat? What if?
Wait. I thought she was saying that it was racist to call out people eating dogs. She said that, what do they do in Korea? She said they eat dogs in Korea. And if you were to call that out, that's racist. Lady, damn. Where's your hood, lady?
If you parted ways with that cat tomorrow and then I shot it in the head and ate it, would you oppose that because it was cruel and you've got feelings for the cat?
You do you.
No.
Oh, she got us. Oh, we're done, guys. Ah, damn it. You do you. Damn. All right. Well, we'll pack up this stream right here. I think veganism over.
I'm asking you. I'm saying from your point of view, would you want me to do?
How am I feeling for the cat if I didn't know the cat?
So okay then. So if you didn't know the cat, it would be.
I like the facial expression. Just watch the facial expressions as she struggles. So partly what she's doing with her face is performative. She's trying to look like, wow, what you're saying is so stupid. But there's also like a competing thing going on as she's struggling to understand things. It's really fascinating to watch. Like, I encourage y'all to focus on her face for the next little bit.
From your point of view, would you want me to do that?
How am I feeling for the cat if I didn't know the cat?
So okay then. So if you didn't know the cat, it would be okay. So if you walked past me in the street and I saw a cat and I exploited the cat and then strangled it and brought it home and put it in a stew, you wouldn't stop me? You wouldn't think that was horrendous?
Well, why would you do that?
She's making it easy.
Because I want to. Well, I'm saying to you, why did you do this to other animals? It's the same. You're asking me the same question that I'm asking you about other animals. Why would you want to do that?
Because we have tamed cats and dogs to hunt or protect our food. That's the only reason we don't.
Does your cat protect your food?
No, but he protects. Yes, he does. He protects my grain. They eat all the mice.
Is he protecting your grain now?
No, he's having a sleep. That doesn't mean he doesn't. He kills more things per day than, God, I don't know what. He kills all the rats on the yard.
Okay, that's great. That's great to know. But, okay, let's go back to the cat. So
protect my sheep.
So if I was to see your cat,
kind of similar to the cam thing, I just have to give a lot of praise to this guy for maintaining the patience. It's quite incredible. It's quite incredible. Keep in mind, he doesn't have a pause button like we do. It's hard. I mean, I would agree to debate this lady as long as she agreed that I can pause her from time to time to gather myself and to ponder the meaning of life, and how far we've fallen.
In the field and inflict misery on that cat like you inflict misery on your animals.
I don't inflict misery on my animals.
But you do, because you sell them to be slaughtered at 2.5 years old. You've just said.
Yeah.
Would that?
Why are they miserable?
So, if I inflicted misery on your cat and sent your cat to slaughter, would that be putting your cat?
I don't inflict misery on my animals.
Wow. Have you seen that before? Have you seen? Look at this, man. You don't inflict me. So okay, let's go off that then. So you don't inflict misery on your animals.
No.
But at a fraction of their lifespan, you sell them to go and get their neck sliced. Are you saying that that's not inflicting misery?
To be shot and then their neck sliced.
And that's not
They're
that's
dead
not
for their
inflicting
neck.
misery.
No. When are they miserable?
Oh, okay. Remember, she admitted she's never been to a slaughterhouse.
What's he got in here? What victims are in this one?
Not even outside of a slaughterhouse. Not even outside.
One of them's having a piss out of fear. You can hear. There it is. There's the coming out.
At what time frame?
Well, this is why I asked you. This is why I said, have you ever been in a slaughterhouse? Because if you haven't been there, you probably can't really answer the question, can you?
No.
And that's not inflicting misery.
No.
If you haven't been.
Okay, so I'm just curious, like if. So, like, if I was going to run a page that was like debunking misinformation from something, I'd want to be have some expertise on the subject, like at least like the minimal amount. I mean, it might be helpful even just to, like, she doesn't have to go inside of a slaughterhouse, even just go like, because most vegans can't get inside slaughterhouses, right? Like or activists or whoever. Many people have not been inside slaughterhouses. Many. And you can still go and see the misery outside the slaughterhouse. As someone who's like dealing with an anti-vegan page, I'm sure she knows, does she, that so many activism videos are of vigils that are just like outside the slaughterhouse with these trucks? Does she know that? And so if she knew that, then why wouldn't she just also like at least know what is going on so that she could rebut it? She could like go and then be like, oh, no. See, they just pee. You know, that's just what animals do. She could have said that in that moment. That it's just urine. No, it doesn't mean that they're scared. Oh, they're thrashing around. Oh, no. That's not what that is. You know. Oh, they look like they're crying. No, that's just, you know, like little grit in the eye. Just like Jeremy got his, eyelash stuck in his eye. They're not crying. They're not screaming out for pain. No, that's just like a normal biological reaction. That's not like she could have done all that. She didn't do any of that. Don't run a page if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, lady.
No, you probably can't really answer the question, can you?
No.
But I've been there and I've seen it, so I've seen the misery. So are you willing to accept that
No,
maybe you just haven't seen it?
J-Ash, let's see where you ended up. Let me check. Number 4. Not bad, J-Ash. And Nil, coming in strong, is now tied for number 1. Nil, I knew you could do it. I'm so proud of you. You have tied Mary and Lewis. That's incredible. J-Ash, you're tied with Honest Doubter, who is clinging onto that spot. Kane defends animals, just chugging along behind. I don't know why. Steven, what happened today? Steven, you're tied for number 7. Tied for number 7. I know you won't stand for that, Steven. I know you couldn't stand for that.
When are they
They're miserable in the lairage when they're trying to get forced through. They fight and they lash out. They get forced into a single corridor where they can't turn around and they try and jump over to the left and the right, and I've seen it happen. I've actually got all this on camera. And then eventually they get led.
You know, he went to the slaughterhouse like you might want to do. Yeah.
To a where I was, a picture of a field and the blue sky. They go in.
Yeah.
Picture of a field and the blue sky. They go in.
Yeah.
They try and get out of it. They lock their heads in a heavy strap.
Wait.
A picture of a field and the blue sky.
Oh, I've never seen something like that before. Wow. You think you've seen it all, and then you see some new shit. Yeah. So they put that. That's dark.
It's on camera. And then eventually they get led to a where I was, a picture of a field and the blue sky. They go in,
Yeah.
they try and get out of it. They lock their heads in a head restraint and then shoot
Yeah.
them in the head. Would you say that that is quite miserable?
No, they're used to having their head restrained in a crash, aren't they?
I can't with this lady. I can't. Yeah, that's right, Stephen. Welcome back, Mary. You know, while you were out there, Mary, Nilf, he crept up on you. He didn't overtake you, but he tied you. What are you gonna do about that, Mary? Are you gonna stand for that? For that nilferidom? That nilfish behavior?
Do they know they're being going to be shot?
Okay. So
I don't know. I don't understand when at what point you say they're going to be miserable. They are miserable.
I've just explained the misery in quite vivid detail of when they're walking up from the lairage and they're trying to lash out.
Do you think they know they're going to die?
Are you aware of the level of smell that these animals have got, and they can smell the blood and the fear and the energy around these places? Or
no, they can't. They do not know they're going to die, and you know that.
Should we
if
have
you've been in the slaughterhouse any time at all, you would know that those animals do not know they're going to die.
But you haven't.
If you've been in the slaughterhouse, you do not.
She has the nerve. She has the fucking gall. As he describes the slaughterhouses that he has been to, where she's already admitted that she has never been to one. The nerve. Ooh, I wish I had that kind of gall.
The energy around these places, or
no, they can't. They do not know they're going to die, and you know that.
Should we
if
have
you've been in the slaughterhouse any time at all, you would know that those animals do not know they're going to die.
But you.
Oh man. Oh man. I don't know. It's like a brain disease. This lady suffers from a brain disease. She's got the worms. There's like nothing left in there.
You haven't been in a slaughterhouse, you just told me, so how do you know?
I've seen lots of footage too.
So you've seen some nice footage from.
Oh, she's seen the cartoons. I bet the beef council or whoever, put out a nice little cartoon, showed it.
Slaughterhouse, is that what you're saying?
Well, I've seen footage where animals do not know they're going to die.
Wait. That's different. That's a different claim, saying that you've seen some animals that didn't know they were going to die. First of all, you don't know that. But what you can deduce from the footage is that, yes, there are many animals who do know they're going to die because they're looking right at it in front of them. It's very common. Okay.
You didn't know that you were going to die and someone put you in a similar position. Would you be happy or sad about it?
I wouldn't know, because I wouldn't know the situation was coming, would I?
If you were pushed towards a stun box and you could smell food in the air and there was a nasty energy around the place, regardless, would you be happy or would you not be happy about it?
I'm sorry, you can't say that they're miserable because of some bad, mythical bad energy.
Okay.
Where's the fear coming from? Which ones are frightened?
Okay, so give me 2 seconds. Let me just. Would you agree or disagree that this is unnecessarily cruel to restrain a pig in there and take its life away? Are you saying that that pig is happy? Do you think that pig is happy with what is going on? or
I don't think it looks unhappy.
okay, so that's fine.
It doesn't look that bad to me.
So that's okay. Yeah, okay, that's one. Would you say that
He's gonna tear it. He's gonna.
This is okay with you? Are you on board with that?
What is happening there?
They're killing the pigs, basically. This is where you send them to.
That's not this country. No, it's hard going into other countries, looking at their cultures.
She should know what's going on in all these things as the expert, as the person who's there to debunk, vegan misinformation. She should know, right?
I'm saying it's wrong. In the Faroe Islands, they eat dolphins. In Korea, they eat dogs. And it's racist to say they shouldn't do that. It's their culture.
I can show you some footage from this country if you'd like.
Well, yes, I would like relevant footage. If you can
well, it's all the same. Believe me.
Relevant.
It's all the
No,
same.
it's not. No, it's not.
Would you say that? Would you say that this is one of your victims?
It's the same as UK.
This is one of your.
But okay, but that's their culture, though. Oh, I'm glad we paused it on this image of her. I'm just going to leave it on the screen on purpose for a little bit because I feel like this image right now accurately represents what's going on inside her head. Would y'all agree? I know this is a low blow. I don't like to do this to people typically, but I feel in this case, it's warranted. So let me leave it there and check the chat. I mean, she's probably clueless too, but I think she's also just full. Yeah, she's full of it. Pathetic art. Yeah. Cognitive dissonance. I don't get the sense that she's holding two contradictory views inside instead. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
victims, would you say that that's okay?
Do not talk over me. Do not talk over me. That is not the UK either.
Hang on.
That is.
Did he
No,
talk?
it's not.
Would you say that? Would you say that this is one of your victims?
It's the same as UK.
This is one of your victims. Would you say that that's okay?
Do not talk over me. Do not talk over me. That is not the UK either.
That is the UK. Believe me, that is the UK. And you know what? I've noticed a pattern with you people. You start to that is the UK. Believe me, that is the UK. And you know what? I've noticed a pattern with you people. You start to get angry and say, "Don't speak over me. Don't speak over me."
I would like to finish a sentence.
Go on, carry on.
Yeah, you finished many sentences.
Well, thank you. You're showing footage that is not the UK and not relevant.
Okay, so let's watch Land of Hope and Glory. It's all filmed in the UK. Earthling Ed film. Let's show her Land of Hope and Glory so that she can get rid of this stupid argument.
And it is not all the same. Absolutely not.
Yeah, there's minor differences here and there, but yeah, it's all horrific. Yeah. Okay.
I'm well aware that some countries are different and some countries will have different regulations in place, but ultimately, would you say that this is okay? Are you on board with that?
The animal's dead.
Are you on board with that? Is that okay?
You have to blood out all animals. You have to.
Yes or no? Do you think do you think that's acceptable, even though it's not necessary?
Sorry, guys.
It is necessary.
Why is that necessary?
You can't leave blood in the animal. You have to blood out.
No, but why is doing that necessary? Tell me what is it about that is okay when we don't need to do it?
The animal is dead.
Do we need to do that?
And if you don't blood out, then it stays in the meat and ruins the meat.
Do we need to do that?
Yes, we do need to do that.
We do need to do that. Okay. Do we need? You're the pharmacy, so I'm trying to get you to tell me because I don't know.
Yeah, but you're not listening, are you?
I am. I'm listening.
You need to blood out slaughtered animals, otherwise the meat is ruined.
Do you think that's necessary?
The animal is dead and it's being blooded out.
Yeah. Is it necessary to do it? Do we need to do this?
We do.
We need.
Otherwise,
to
the
do
meat is ruined.
Okay.
I don't. You haven't worked in the slaughterhouse if you didn't know that.
Do you think that this is acceptable?
Oh, wait. Is part of his story that he did work in slaughterhouse? I think it might be.
Not the UK, not the UK, not the UK.
Yeah, it happens in the UK. It happens in every slaughterhouse, lady, which, you know, you might know if you had just like done the bare minimum research to look into it. Yes, it happens everywhere.
And regardless of what country it is, do you think that is, because you care about people's culture, don't you? Is that acceptable?
Well, if it is, it's a third world country.
No, but,
you know,
yeah, but
they need to start.
No, lady. That happens in the US, happens in the UK. This may be Dominion, might happen in Australia. I mean, I know it happens in Australia. I'm saying it happens everywhere, dumbass.
Looking after their children before their animals.
No, but forget where it is. Do you agree or disagree with that? You think that's good?
In a first world country, it's not acceptable. But it's
it is standard. Yeah. Yeah. She is not bright. Take care, Steven. Thanks for being here. Steven, you're awesome. Guys, sub to Vegan Heretic if you're not subbed. I know I give a lot of commands during my stream, but I promise they're for good reason. They're good commands. That's Vegan Heretic. Go check out his channel.
Not a first world country.
Yes, it is. It is, lady.
So if I showed you footage from Warwickshire halal slaughterhouse from, I believe, 2 weeks ago that my friend exposed, would you then look at the halal slaughterhouse in Warwickshire that is in this country and say that that's okay?
But that's religion. We can't get into religion.
No,
that's religion. Oh,
I'm asking you. I'm saying forget religion. Like, do you?
It's in the UK, lady. It's in the UK. You know, I'll say that he just should have showed her. Like, I mean, he's using his phone, so it's just whatever's on his phone. But he could have, you know, like it's easy for me to say now, but there is ample footage of this happening in the UK. Tons of footage. So he just has to use his phone.
Halal is a religion.
Yeah, but it's still happening. It's still happening, and you know, you would go around and from a restaurant or a cafe and buy halal, not knowing that it's halal, so it doesn't really matter. You still fund it somewhere along the line. Do you think that this is okay?
That's a government regulation. Nothing to do with farming.
Do you think that that's okay? Drinking the blood of a cow?
If he wants to drink the blood, why shouldn't he? It's only black pudding.
Okay, so that's okay.
Yeah.
What did she say? It's only black pudding. Is that what she said?
Just trying to get. I'm just trying to work out your where the line is for you, because for me it's just don't do it. But I'm trying to work out with you. Is there like a cruelty cutoff point that you don't accept, or are you open to any?
All right. I think there's 2 more parts. I'm gonna power through it. I want to do this. We'll just do 2 more parts. And then that'll be the stream for today. Okay. Oh, there's me again. We got to see how it ends, guys. I know it's a long one, but we got to see how it ends. There's 2 more. You guys with me? I know some of y'all had to go to bed. I understand. You know, I'll get more efficient. I know, Nilf. Well, you made the decision. You made the decision, Nilf. I know. I gave you all these book recommendations. Present. Share screen. I didn't do this quite right. All right, here we go. The problem with books, though, is that you don't have my commentary on the books. Now, we could do that. Let's do book stream, where we'll read some through the book, and then we'll stop, and I'll tell you about how I got my eyelash in my eye, and it hurts. That sounds like that would be a valuable use of your time.
Strangled it and brought it home and put it in a stew.
By the way, my eye hurts, guys.
You wouldn't stop
It
me?
hurts.
You wouldn't think that
I'd
was
probably get-
horrendous?
It's the veganism.
Well, why would you do that?
You putting
I
your cat,
don't inflict misery on my animals. God. And then their neck sliced.
Got my
and that's
my
not misery.
gaze
That's not
mug,
inflicting
my
my
misery.
vegan gaze mug.
No. If he wants to drink the blood, why shouldn't he? It's only black pudding.
I'm drinking black coffee in the evening.
Okay, so that's okay.
Book club.
Okay, I'm just trying to get.
It's black-
I'm just trying to work out your where the line is for you, because for me it's just don't do it. But I'm trying to work out with you. Is there like a cruelty cutoff point that you don't accept, or
Numbers went down, by the way. I just saw it. I saw it. Y'all can't hide that some of y'all left. Answer for yourself. You who left. You all out there who left. When I switched the videos, I saw it. YouTube told me the numbers went down.
are you open to any?
I don't accept cruelty to any animal.
So you don't accept cruelty to animals.
No.
So would you say that that's okay then?
That's halal. And,
No, you
and
don't
again,
forget halal. You just said that.
no, you can't forget halal.
Well,
And
how do
that's
you know
not the UK.
halal? That could not be halal. I'm saying you
Because-
just said you don't like cruelty to animals. I'm saying, okay, so you're okay with that then, aren't you?
It's a religion.
No, yeah,
You
but
cannot, and it's not the UK.
if that wasn't religion, would you be okay with it?
But it is. But it is.
Okay, let's find one that's not religion then. There's a dairy cow, obviously. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I can't really see.
Bearing in mind, you just said that you're not for cruelty to animals. So are you for or against that?
I can't even see what it is. Sorry.
It's a cow.
She doesn't understand
It's a
what's
cat-
on the. She doesn't understand what she's looking at because she has no clue what happens in slaughterhouses. Anybody that's looked at slaughterhouse footage, even like for like a remote, like a small amount of time, can understand like what we're looking at right here. It's not hard to see.
Oh, doing what? I'm sorry. It's really blurry on a second screen.
Well, it looks to me like it's thrashing on the floor, covered in blood, maybe pregnant, or maybe just used and abused to death, and then eventually killed. Do you agree or disagree with that? Knowing that we haven't,
She has
got
no
to do
clue.
this?
She has no clue.
Let's find
What
a
is
clear
it?
one.
The horse? Yeah. Sorry, I can't make out the images.
So you did say that you were against cruelty to animals, didn't you?
Lewis.
I am against all cruelty to animals.
Okay. So if you're against cruelty to animals, are you for or against this that was took in Ireland?
You know, Lewis says he left. Let's check the scoreboard real quick. Still number one. Still tied for number one. That's unbelievable. I don't know if Lewis has worked out some deal with YouTube. That's impressive feat. A feat of unimaginable strength.
I believe. Are you for or against being cruel to these chickens and treating them like just objects? Are you for or against that?
Objects.
Look at her.
Yeah,
look
just
at her seeing slaughterhouse footage for the first time. Like, what's happening here? What are they doing? That can't happen in the UK.
Treating them like objects, isn't they?
I don't understand that reference.
What's his name?
Meow meow.
So it's a someone?
What happened?
No, it's a cat. Ow! Oh, sorry, man. What are they doing to the chickens?
Well,
Why are they going down the chute?
chickens are individuals who don't want to be exploited, and they've got emotions and feelings, and they've got pain receptors.
So again, the expert should probably know what's happening. What are they doing to the chickens there? What's happening? I've never seen a slaughterhouse before.
So in my head, I'm thinking, well, it makes no sense to be violent and
we got a weird audio issue,
horrendously cruel to these beings.
Where was the violence?
Do you agree or disagree with this violence? Is that good or bad?
What are they doing to the? That's not the UK. That's not allowed.
But you said earlier it doesn't matter where it is because everyone's got their own culture.
Is the argument through this whole debate going to be that's not the UK? Because that's an easily solved problem.
Say is where it is.
You did. You said
you know
that,
you were there.
You
Oh,
said
it's
it,
the same
you
right
said,
around the world, and it's not in first world country. I asked you, which area are we discussing here? Are we discussing global or are we discussing the UK? Now you're
the one who brought up other cultures, so I've got other cultures up now for you to see. And now you're saying that it's not
are
the UK.
Cultures relative? Relevant?
Okay, so
is religion relevant?
So
is third world countries how they kill meat relevant?
Okay, this is the UK, right?
What are you trying to prove here?
This was in Lancashire. Okay. Right? So this is the UK now. So we've got a UK one.
Yeah.
This was in Lancashire.
The first one.
Are you for or against?
How'd it go, Kane? Did you show all those people in the gym how it's done, Kane? Right, Mary. You didn't know. She knows. She's looking at it. Nilf. That's such a threat that you just gave me. 11:30, you're leaving. I'm going to assume that's 8 minutes from now for you. Listen, Nilf. Don't be trying to push weight around here, Nilf. Oh, no. That was a funny comment. Oh, you failed. Damn it. Well, there's always next time.
Come on. There's got to be one UK video you can bring up.
Are you for or against the kidnapping of cows?
That's not the UK.
I've just gone back. There it is. That second clip there is from Lancashire. Are you for or against?
That's not the UK. Oh, okay. That should have been the title of the this stream. Hey, Kane. I don't know if you knew this, Kane, but where you live, the UK, they treat animals nice. Stuff like that doesn't happen in the UK.
That's the stealing of calves.
Stealing? It's not stealing of calves.
What would you call it then? Taking away a
lot of
baby.
dairy cattle, and really not at all maternal.
No, what I'm saying is, forget what you want to call it. Are you for or against taking away dairy cows' children?
They're not children. They're calves.
Are you for or against? Are you for or against taking away a mother cow's calves unnecessarily?
It's not unnecessarily because we need the milk.
Okay, let's get to that point then. So you've now said it's not necessary. Tell me what is necessary about drinking milk and doing this to the young.
It's so full of nutrition. Children in Asia are 5 centimeters taller because of one generation of drinking milk.
Oh boy. By the way, most Asians are lactose intolerant. So yeah, no. Asian children grew taller after World War II as a result of improved overall nutrition, better healthcare. Just lady, I'm going to throw it back. That's not the UK. Okay? That's not the UK. So you can't make that argument because it's not the UK. How'd I do, Kane?
Well, I haven't had milk for 6 years. So can you explain why I'm not malnourished?
You had a lot of milk as you were growing up. And you can thank your
no, because I know vegan babies. I know people that have never drank milk.
You don't know many. And look how many sick vegan babies there are. There is a lot.
No.
And they've done a study in Sweden that proved their brains are smaller the children are smaller
No.
and their bones were more brittle.
Lady. Okay. No, I'm not trying to be nice. You are like one of the dimmest people that I've ever seen on YouTube. Somehow. And you're talking about vegan babies having small brains. Okay. This lady, what to say? What to even say? I don't even know if I need to. But this is like, I really like the term brain rot because it really does describe our society today. But she is like the epitome of brain rot. Even just looking at her expressions as her little feeble brain that's been eaten away by brain worms struggles to put things together, you can see the amount of effort it's taking her to form thoughts. And she's not really forming them. Like they're coming out all jumbled and she's kind of latched onto, that's not the UK. She really thought that was a brilliant argument.
No, you're scientifically wrong there because every scientific body, nutritional body, disagrees with you. Like this is not up for debate. It's a fact that we do not need.
It's not a fact.
We do not need dairy. So can you tell me what I'm missing then? If you're saying that I need dairy,
B12, creatine, taurine, loads of different things.
B22,
okay, so
B20, B42. What about B42?
So let's just take creatine and taurine. Does my body produce that, or do I need to get it from an external source?
Not enough of it. And the fact that you had it as a child and you grew up with it is why you can live without it now. You can thank your mother and your grandma.
Wait. Oh, so you just admitted, did you? Did you just admit, even though this is a really stupid point, you did just admit that he can live without it now, implying that you could live without it now. So according to your fucked up, skewed, misinformed worldview, you can be vegan as long as you're an adult vegan, right? Okay. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, kids can be vegan, obviously.
Why is it that the vegan,
and that's why you're okay now?
So why is it that the vegan children that I know, my friends' babies and things like that,
anecdotal evidence.
So why is it that they're okay? But I'm not the one saying that they need it for a certain nutrient. You are.
Because you're giving anecdotal evidence and I'm giving scientific evidence. Children in Asia are 5 centimeters taller because of one generation.
Wait. I was reading the chat.
Why is it that the vegan children that I know, my friends' babies and things like that,
anecdotal evidence.
So why is it that they're okay? But I'm not the one saying that they need it for a certain nutrient. You are.
Because you're giving anecdotal evidence and I'm giving scientific evidence. Children in Asia are 5 centimeters taller because of one generation of drinking milk.
Scientific nutritional bodies around the world disagree with you and fully back a whole food plant-based diet.
There's one, and that's backed by religion.
What do you mean there's one? There is multiple nutritional bodies around the world that disagree with you and provide evidence of it being okay.
There's one,
including the British ones.
Religion.
Let's just say that it was a 100% fact that we did not need it. Would you still exploit animals if you knew that 100% it was unnecessary to do so?
That's like saying if the sky wasn't blue, we do need it.
It's a hypothetical. What I'm saying,
I'm not into hypothetical.
If tomorrow
the sky fell in,
someone said to you,
people who are just completely flopping and losing a debate refuse to engage hypotheticals. Have you ever noticed this? Like they just, it's a hypothetical, so I can't answer that. Just answer the damn question, lady. It's not that hard.
Do not need animal produce to be healthy, would you still exploit animals, or would you be like, no, I don't need it?
I would still eat meat. I enjoy meat.
That's because of taste. So everything you've just said doesn't matter then, because you're
It
arguing.
does, because it was a hypothetical argument.
Yeah, but you just said it's because of the taste. So you only do this because of the taste
and nutrition and health.
What's up, Jason? Nice to see you. Thanks for being here.
Health.
No, but
Just link to the video. I'm going to do that a little, since there's 5 parts of this. I just want to make sure y'all are able to find it and get subbed to Vegan Geezer.
Not for nutrition.
Plant Geezer.
Health, because I just said if tomorrow you came to understand that you didn't need
that's
it.
That's the worst argument ever. Come on, let's get on to the next.
She can't do it. She can't do it because she'd have to actually think. Plant Geezer, look, you're going to have to ask her questions that require no thought at all. And please, direct all your questions to only UK-based things.
Next one. If it's not.
No, but it is. I can show you proof that it is. It's why I'm healthy. It's why everyone I know is healthy. It's why we're not falling over, or our teeth are not falling out. Or
most of us are healthy. Kane, though, he went to the gym and it didn't go well today, apparently. So I will say that for the most part, vegans are healthy, but sometimes in Kane's case, we what can you do? It's Kane.
Hair's not falling out. We are perfectly healthy.
The nutritional body that you're talking about is the Loma Linda University, and it's backed by a religion.
So the American Academy of Dietetics and the NHS and all these other bodies are.
No,
you're right, and they're wrong.
It's from the Loma Linda University in America.
So they're wrong, and you're right.
I've looked into the stats. I've researched it properly. Have you?
Okay. So can you explain to?
Yeah, she's researched it properly, says the lady who spends her time running a Facebook group debunking vegan myths and has never been to a slaughterhouse and could not even identify, as he showed up on his phone, very standard things that happen in slaughterhouses, could not even understand what was happening on the screen and had to keep saying, not the UK, not the UK. She just didn't even understand. Now, you could look at some of those things and be like, I've never seen that, I didn't know they did that or something. Fair, fine, whatever. But she's done all the research. Remember, she's the expert. She's the one debunking the myths that vegan are spewing out there. But no, all that was news to all that. She never saw it. Never saw it. Never even bothered to look at the stuff that she's trying to debunk.
To me, why me and 500 vegans that I know are perfectly fine with perfect blood results and perfect health and fitness levels. Can you explain why that is?
I don't believe it's 500.
I can assure you, I know hundreds and hundreds of vegans due to the nature of my business. And believe me,
I'm sure there is some. I'm sure there is some, but some become very sick, and there have been instances of a lot of very sick.
Yeah, some meat eaters become very sick. So I guess meat eating is then unhealthy, right? Because some meat eaters become very sick. I wonder, what may be the leading cause of death. I wonder what it is. I don't know. But yeah, it's something that very rarely happens to vegans.
Vegan babies.
Okay. And there's also been many instances of very sick omnivore babies as well.
Yeah, not from lack of nutrition, or rarely.
Well, it is.
Right. So rarely it's from lack of nutrition with vegan babies too, right? So what you're describing is child abuse. What you're describing is parents who didn't feed their children. What she's latched onto are the few sensationalized stories where the media grabs onto an incident where some parents have fed their kids watermelon for their entire childhood. It's just like really weird examples of people who hold these strange beliefs about nutrition instead of just, you know, being vegan, they have to go to these weird levels. And then the media says, oh, a vegan died. Remember the influencer who died who like wasn't drinking water? Like she wasn't drinking water. And all she ate was fruit or something. It was weird. Well, of course, the media, the vegan diet killed her, right? Okay, yeah, and then okay. Man, have y'all been seeing like the latest videos about Liver King? How he's like lost his fucking mind? He went to Austin, Texas to stalk Joe Rogan, got himself arrested. All of his videos now, and I see this because I see people like reporting on him, reacting to his weird shit. Speaking of my hurt eye, he's got this really enlarged pupil in one of his eyes. He just looks batshit insane, and he's still all roided up. And I mean, talk about a walking heart attack. Oh my God. Got a little divergent. Yeah, she starved. So it's like, what? Like,
It's because there's a lot of terrible food out there now. So, you know, I could feed my child processed meat products and they could still be malnourished.
Hang on a second. I just want to push back on this a little bit because a lot of the processed, which has become this naughty word, processed, everything that's processed is bad. God, fuck off. I'm so sick of people with their goddamn labels. Everything has to be a fucking label. We have to like jump on to the latest trend that the news media reports and the latest like YouTubers reporting. Oh, the processed foods are bad. The seed oils are bad. Organic is good. All this bullshit. Just eat food. Eat food. Eat food. Oh, say the point that I'm making. And by the way, I'm not calling out Plant Geezer right now, but I want to point out that a lot of these processed meats are fortified like hell with nutrients. Like if you look at an Impossible Burger or a like a Beyond Burger, they are becoming pretty nutritionally complete in like a lot of shit that you need is in the burger. And a burger is not a health food. The plant-based foods are becoming healthier and healthier, especially with the latest trend. So the plant burger people like Impossible and Beyond have noticed the trend where everybody's demonizing processed food. So they're actually, what they can do that the meat companies can't do is actually alter their ingredients. And so the plant-based stuff has started to go more in the direction of fewer ingredients, since everybody puts up a long list of, oh my God, I can't pronounce this one. That means it's bad. Oh my God, I can't pronounce a word. It must be terrible. Fucking morons. Like, okay, yeah, maybe it's bad because you can't pronounce. It's not because you can't pronounce it that it's bad. I hate people so much. I'll stop ranting. But dear Lord, I hate people so much. Who's Lee? Oh dear. Nilf. Well, he did warn us. Yo, what's up, Ali? Ali is here. Guys, if you're not subbed to Light Occult Revival, guys, I'm sorry. I leave people out. Like, if you're not subbed to Louis Ghetto, if you're not subbed to Mary, sub to everybody, sub to Nilf, sub to everybody. But also, Ali Light Occult Revival has some really cool content on her channel. So make sure you all are doing all the subs.
Talking babies.
But anyway, it doesn't matter because you've already admitted if you were given solid evidence of us not needing meat and dairy, you've already said that you would continue to do it because of the taste. And you know, and I know that if meat and dairy tasted bad, you would agree with me, wouldn't you? If meat and dairy tasted terrible, you would agree with what a vegan's got to say.
But no, I wouldn't.
She can't do a hypothetical.
I don't agree with you because we do need animal products in our diet. And this hypothetical argument is ridiculous and boring. Get on to the next one.
Oh, it's boring. Now she's bored. Now you bored her, Plant Geezer. Yeah. Oh, that's tough to come back from. Can we get part 5 down in here somewhere? Where's it at? Man. Videos. Guys, make sure you're subbed to Vegan Plant Geezer. I keep saying Vegan Geezer. Doesn't go by Vegan Geezer. All right. We've reached the end. Part 5. Let's see how this train wreck, but very, very entertaining video ends.
Are you for or against taking away dairy cows' children?
They're not children. They're calves.
Are you
What's the
for or
difference between
against?
that and 8
Are
weeks?
you for or
I'm for
against
it.
taking away a mother cow's
for
calves
it.
unnecessarily?
She said it.
So the American
Go for
Academy
it.
of Dietetics and the NHS and all
Yeah.
these other bodies are
No,
you're right and
it's
they're
from-
wrong.
It's from
I'm
the
sorry,
Melinda.
Lewis. I had to do
Because
it.
It drives you into a corner and you got nowhere to run.
Lewis.
Because you know and I know.
The thing is, Lewis, we can't be quitters. You know, nobody likes a quitter. So we must see this through. We must see this through to the end. I'm sorry. But I feel like this is preparing us all for life. Because if we can get through this, what could stop us? That armless and legless knight in Monty Python Holy Grail. Yes, I agree. Sub to Jason. Indeed, sub to Jason. Yeah, she is edgy, Allie. She's pretty edgy.
That the exploitation, bullying, and captivity of animals is completely unnecessary and cruel.
Don't tell me what I feel. Don't tell me what I think. We do need animal products in our diet. And this hypothetical argument is ridiculous and boring. Get on to the next one. Why should other people listen to you?
But you said 5 minutes ago.
No, I didn't.
You did. You said 5 minutes ago that even if
you said in a hypothetical
word,
if we didn't need animal products, we do need animal products. Fact.
It's funny, like, if I were debating this lady, you would see me lose my shit. I mean, I think I would. I think I would just probably lose it on this lady. But it's so funny that we get this reputation because all the debates that I watch, like Jeffrey and Ali, you know, doing their debates, and this guy doing his, like, they're staying calm, like they're chill, and it's these guys like losing their cool.
No, I know, and I said I know that you said
Thank
that.
you.
But
Thank you. I'm glad you agreed with me there.
No, I said I know that you said it, but what you also said was that even if it was the case that you found out that we don't need them, you would still eat it due to taste pleasure.
What's
you
wrong
admitted
with
that?
Yeah, what's wrong with taste pleasure? What's wrong with taste pleasure?
Well, everything's wrong with taste.
Oh, but if it tasted bad, but it doesn't taste bad.
How you doing, Sally?
No, it doesn't matter because you've already admitted.
We got Sally and Allie. Isn't that cool?
All you care about is taste. You've admitted that. You admitted that on camera. I've got that recorded.
Okay then.
Yeah. So
if that makes you happy.
Yeah. No. It doesn't make me happy. I'm just saying that you're the one who's contradicting yourself and going back on what you've said. You know, it is the truth. What you've just said is all you care about is taste, which is why if meat tasted bad and dairy tasted bad,
but it doesn't.
But it doesn't. If it did,
but it doesn't.
If it did, you would agree with what we're saying.
And it is needed.
Again, a hypothetical. That's too much for her brain. We gotta take it down a few notches for her.
For nutrition, and it is needed for nutrition.
If it's needed for nutrition, why not dead?
Because you've only spent 6 years without.
Why do I know 42-year lung vegans who are in perfect health, who look really good and are running Ironmans and marathons and lifting twice their body weight? Why is that?
Bet they're cheating. But all right, how many do you know?
I know hundreds of vegans. I actually had a takeaway.
You don't know hundreds of vegans.
Pardon?
It's like literally his business to know. Like, yeah, so he knows. I'm sure he knows a lot. He's probably not. He's not exaggerating, but I mean, just one vegan disputes her stupid ass point. I mean, all it would take was one. If you need the nutrition in meat and somebody's been vegan for 42 years, why aren't they dead? If you need it, obviously you don't. He's not an anomaly, whoever he's talking about.
You don't know hundreds of Ironman vegans.
No, I know hundreds of
How-
Yeah, he
vegans.
does.
I know a couple
Yeah.
of
Like his
athletes who are
business or
vegans. I know
something, he does
ultra
some-
runners, marathon runners, bodybuilders.
Yep.
And this is the thing. It's like,
But
I'm
not elite athletes like her. I mean, okay, playing geezer. Like, let's just concede. You're talking right now to an elite athlete. So yeah, you might know an ultra marathon runner or a bodybuilder, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, saying that if you eat meat, this happens. I'm asking you that what you're saying, has it got legs? I'm asking you, if you're saying this, why are we okay? Why am I building muscle? Why am I able to run 20 kilometers? Like, tell me why I'm not falling over and, you know, gasping for dairy, gasping for a cheese cob. You know what I mean? Like, tell me why. Why is this?
Because you're very lucky. Lots of people do get very sick, and you've only spent 6 years as vegan.
Nah, it's a load of rubbish. I know people that have been vegan for 40 years.
You said this. How many?
I know quite a few. I know I've spoke to I met a bloke the other day. He was 82. I was up doing an event, and he was 82, and he was vegetarian most of his life, and then vegan for the last 10 years.
Vegetarian's very different to being vegan.
Yeah, but he's been vegan for 10 years. And you know, he's at that age too, where if you were doing something bad to yourself, like it might have a real negative effect. He said he's 82 years old. So in the last like 10 years, according to you, he's doing something horrific to his body. And yet he carries on. Amazing how that works.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's been vegetarian most of his life. There's other people who have been strictly vegan for 42 years.
I want to do just like let me think about this. Okay. So I've been vegan 7 years. How long have y'all been? Like, it's not a competition. I'm not trying to call it like, you know, but I'm just, a lot of people in my chat. I think, Lewis, didn't you say you've been vegan since for decades, right? Like decades you've been vegan. Last two guests on my channel had Peter, who's been vegan since, God, like, I mean, since I was like a babe, just a babe, right? 10 years, Ali, 10 years, Jason. And Jerry, before that, has been vegan for like 30 years. 30 years. 3.5 months. Mary, like if you would have felt it, you'd have felt it by now. I feel like, you know, you'd start to feel it within months. How do you feel? Like, actually, I'm curious, like, Mary, how have you been doing? Like, as a new vegan, brand new vegan, like, how have you been feeling? It's a kind of that could be like the first time. Vegan for 7 years, vegetarian for 15 years before that, on the verge of protein deficiency, though. Yeah, true. On the verge. It probably starts at 11 years because we got 2 people in the chat for 10 years. So they're okay, but yeah, I'll give you 4 more years. Same as me, Felix. 4 more years, and
I've met.
How many?
I spoke to someone the other day who had been vegan for 38 years, and he's now 60, and he looks absolutely fantastic.
38.
So,
yeah.
Do you not think it's a bit silly to say that we need these products if we blatantly don't?
We do. Most people do. There are some people that, you know,
You're
have a
right.
lot of
It is like the Monty Python thing. It's just like that.
B12. B12 is very low in all Western world countries.
That's why
and if
animals
you
have
happen
to
to
get.
be
Yeah. B12 is low in the Western countries. And how many, what's the percentage of vegans in those countries? It's like 1%. Yeah. So I think you've identified a problem with the general populace, which is why they recommend that everybody over the age of 50, I believe it is. And that may have changed because this is old information, but I believe they recommend everybody to be taking a B12 supplement regardless of their diet after the age of 50. Yeah.
those lucky people. Never inject mine. Vegan myth.
Vegan.
It's not a vegan myth. It's a fact that the majority of supplements in the world are fed to livestock.
She is
They're not. If an animal
that's
is
a fact.
sick, it might get B12 injection.
No, that is a fact.
It's not.
Most animals are fed the world's the majority of the world's supplements.
No.
Should we check it?
Yes.
And then you can.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. No animals in Africa are being fed supplements today. None in third world countries are being fed supplements. None in second world countries are being fed supplements.
Yeah, yeah.
Are
Because in the modern world, we've polluted the atmosphere, and there's a cobalt deficiency and things like that. So,
also,
it's quite obvious.
Yes, they are.
Is that things do need to be supplemented these days. There's a lot of unnatural things in our food system.
I love how like everybody in the first world is an expert on the third world, aren't they? Everybody in the first world just knows everything that goes on in Africa. They don't do this in Africa. Those people in Africa, they've never seen a cell phone or no, like that stuff doesn't exist in Africa. Fuck off. Like, lady, you've never even visited a slaughterhouse. You couldn't even identify what was going on the screen.
Because of the way the world is, we're not drinking from streams anymore. Our water's polluted. It's going to be a little bit different out in Wales, but generally, people are not living as we used to. The soil isn't the same. The vegetables aren't the same. So we're not getting much B12, which is why foods are supplemented. But if
the only place you get B12 is animal products, you don't get them from vegetables.
What I'm saying is, back in the day, it used to be in the dirt. So
false. The B12 that I take is vegan, which means it didn't come from animals. Oh, hard concept. Fucking moron.
We would pick things from the dirt, and B12 would be within that. We're not doing that anymore. No, that is
We
that
would
is
just
true.
get B12 from eating meat.
No. It's
That's
why
where you get
animals have to get injected.
They're
I
not
can
injected.
prove that to you. So let me
Vegan
2 seconds.
myth.
I can prove that to you.
Vegan myth.
Animals
Vegan myth.
do.
You can literally go find B12 for farm animals on Amazon.
Do livestock animals get fed B12 supplement?
No, you inject.
And
that's only when they're sick.
It will come up. It will come up.
Only when
yes, livestock animals are commonly fed.
What? Like, you don't treat sickness with B12. What the fuck is she talking about?
Vitamin B12 supplements, particularly those raised in intensive farming systems.
Guys, I feel the sniffles coming on. I better go take my B12. What the fuck are you talking about, lady? Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yes, Nooch, Jason. Exactly. Mary feels great. Walking faster, not weakened at all. That's awesome.
B12 comes from bacteria, not plants or animals.
I've been doing illnesses all wrong. I didn't realize that when you start to feel a disease or the cold coming on, that you should take B12. But yeah, if an animal is sick, yeah, give them B12. That'll do it. That'll help. Yes.
So these animals might get B12 from bacteria in soil or their own gut microbiota. So it's common knowledge that B12 is fed to humans in fortified foods and also injected into animals. Not all animals, but the majority will need it.
Stop denying basic facts. Like, can you you could have like a decent debate and still maintain and still stay within the bounds of reality. You could try it.
It's not.
But if someone
said, didn't say that, you just made that up.
Your precious cat. If someone said that you can eat your food and then you've got to take a B12 tablet or kill your cat to get B12, what would you do?
Well, I can answer you that. Their cat is an object. Remember, it's not a someone, it's a thing. So you wouldn't. Well, why would you even bother?
B12 needs to be injected. It's very low.
Did I miss something? She just said B12 needs to be injected. Before that, she claimed you can only get it from eating animals. Now, yes, animals are injected with B12. Yes, you could inject B12 if you, for some reason, didn't want to just take B12 in your food, or, do this, how do you call it? The sublingual, like whatever, under the tongue drip thing, which I've, never done. I miss, I don't know.
In
Like,
first of all, 12
let's
needs
sorry, let me
food.
hear her full
just
thought.
made that up.
Your precious cat. If someone said that, you can eat your food and then you've got to take a B12 tablet or kill your cat to get B12, what would you do?
B12 needs to be injected. It's very low in first world countries.
What would you?
So, do you take a B12 injection? Is that what she's saying? Or is she? Damn it.
You do if someone said you've got to choose your cat or the B12 tablet?
I wouldn't eat my cat.
Why?
It's very dangerous to eat carnivores, because it's dangerous to eat carnivores. You get parasites.
What? You get parasites?
Do you think maybe you got a parasite?
That's why.
In pigs, though.
Which is why it needs to be cooked well.
Yeah, but you can cook a cat well. Why wouldn't you eat the cat?
Because it's dangerous to eat carnivore meat.
What if it wasn't dangerous?
Can you just answer a question without diverting onto another point to try to be sleazy, as we've agreed upon as the term?
Oh, for God's sake. You are boring. What if?
I'm just seeing how consistent
Let's talk
you are.
It's, it's funny that she's calling him boring. Like, what's kind of boring is, I actually don't think it's boring. I think it's very entertaining watching her struggle. But if I were in a different mood, I might find it boring, I guess. But in my current mood, I think it's hilarious. So, but yeah, it's you who keeps just trying to sleaze your way out.
It might sound boring, but I'm just trying to work out how consistent you are. And it seems to me that you're just jumping around and saying different things.
No, you're jumping around. What if? Let's stick to fact.
Yeah, stick to fact. He's trying, but you keep denying actual facts. So it's hard to do that with someone who doesn't have a firm grasp of facts in reality, and who two things happening right now. One, deliberate avoidance of the issue, and also just like an actual cognitive disability, inability. Let's just go with inability to piece this together. It's like, I don't know. It's just there is a deficiency, we might say, an intellectual deficiency going on. And it's really hard to work around. He's doing his best, but it's not, he gave a way better effort than I could have. And yeah, I don't think anybody could break through this.
No, because think about it. If I said I don't eat cats, and you said, well, what if the world was ending and you had to eat the cat? I would happily say I would eat the cat. It's just a hypothetical to see how consistent I am.
I pick a hypothetical. Let's stick to fact.
The reason you don't like hypotheticals is because it drives you into a corner and you got nowhere to run.
Every time someone's losing a debate and you bring up a hypothetical, they dodge the hypothetical. I don't know why I started to do the Bill Cosby thing. I didn't commit to it, so I didn't get there. I realized you're like, what are you talking about? I didn't commit to the Bill Cosby thing, but I was going there.
Because you know and I know that the exploitation, bullying, and captivity of animals is completely unnecessary and cruel.
Don't tell me what I feel. Don't tell me what I think.
I think you're in denial. I think that you got a lot of.
Well, Lewis, it depends on whether you feel a little bit bi-curious about the B-72. And if you feel a little bi-curious, take it bilingually. If you feel a little submissive, take it sublingual. If you feel a little dominant that day, do domlingual. It's up to you, is what I'm saying. It's just up to you. You do what you do you, as she said. You do you. Carnivore parasites, yes, indeed. Sublingual. Yeah. Non-vegans watch this and pick a side. How many would? Yeah. It'd be pretty tough to take her side. I feel like that's actually a good idea. Like if you had to if you as a carnist had to watch this, like how embarrassed would you feel and how clear would it be to you that you were on the wrong side of things? I feel like it would be pretty clear. I wish I could like go back in time and like, do magical things like that, like show my former self this to just see like, how I coped with it. I don't know.
Don't tell me what I feel.
I think you've
and
got a
what I
lot of
think.
cognitive dissonance, and I don't.
I think you don't know me, and you should not tell other people what they think or what they feel.
So why did you set up the page?
Oh yeah, let's feign the indignant anger now. How dare you, sir? How dare you? How dare you tell me how I feel?
Page misinformation against vegans.
As I said, I sort of tell other people what they think. I think you don't know me, and you should not tell other people what they think or what they feel.
So why
I think you should. I think you should always tell people what they think and feel, and just throw it out there. I think you should. Nerve damage as a carnist, nerve damage still. Very confident. I don't know. I don't see confidence in her, Lewis. I see like actual like panic. I saw like a lot of panic during this debate. She was even shaking at parts. Like I think she was. I don't think she. I'll say this. I don't think she was going to leave this conversation confident. I think she will stick to her carnist ways, but I think she will not feel great about how this conversation went.
Did you set up the page misinformation against vegans?
As I said, I saw a vegan threaten a farmer's 14-year-old daughter with rape because they thought that's what happened to the cattle, and the daughter.
Okay, so you saw someone threaten, and then your response was to, rather than call out the threat, it would have been fair to do, to say like, yeah, that's fucked up or something. Instead of that, you started a whole page to fight, as you call it, vegan misinformation. And you didn't even bother to educate yourself about what the vegans are talking about. Because again, I think this is a very important point that she admitted that she's never been to a slaughterhouse and sees no reason why she should go there. And yet she listed that slaughterhouses are inhumane as being something that vegans put out there that is incorrect. Yet she has never seen one. Never. Didn't know what he was showing her. Had no clue. So I think it's safe to assume that she's not even seen footage of slaughter. Like she's seen probably footage of the outside of like this slaughterhouse. She's never seen inside of a slaughterhouse before. And if she did, it was like what the industry showed, like some very, very sanitized image.
Deserve the same.
Can I just say, I've also received a lot of online hate, and I've had prank calls, and I've had people threaten to destroy my business and things like that. So it does happen on both sides, but that doesn't take away the viewpoint of a vegan saying that we should not exploit animals. So regardless of what,
well, you do you. You do you.
You do you. Got us again. She got us again.
You know what you say. I don't think. Why should other people listen to you?
Well,
why should they listen to you?
Why should cows have to get fisted in the anus so they get impregnated and have a child
Better response.
so that you can steal the milk? I don't get that
Sorry,
either.
AI is much safer for the cow than.
And we ended it there. All right, we cut her off mid-sentence, which I think was an appropriate way to end that video. Just cut her right off. We had enough of her. All right. Well, yep, you do you. That's the, yeah, let's see. Okay. I accept your offer of disagreeing on that one. Just because I don't think she was confident. I feel like she was panicked through that. I mean, I realized that her brain wasn't really putting it all together. I realized a smarter person would have understood that they were bested in that debate. But yeah. Parents are in their 80s and say they're too old to go vegan. Yeah, I have heard that from several people as well. Yeah, I get that a lot. I feel like what better time to go? I mean, obviously, it would be better to do it sooner, but you could extend your life, you know? Yeah. What to do with an argument like that? Yeah, you can just, I'm too old to stop, hurting people. I'm too old to stop beating people. I'm too old. Like, it's never too late. It's a disappointing argument, isn't it, Jason? Parents are hard, though. Parents can be hard. But yeah, I heard that one too. That was not a good argument, but I heard it. All right, let me link to this. In my opinion, Plant Geezer did an awesome job and has an awesome channel. And I'm glad it showed up in my feed one day because I did not know who he was. And I'm glad that the universe corrected that grave error, a grave oversight. Mary is such a prankster. All right, let's take a look at before we end the stream now, we're going to have to take a look at the rankings. And y'all know what we got to do. Y'all know what we got to do. Let me stop sharing that. And let's get that award music. I'm going to do it in the Dean Withers way. All right, just to annoy you guys. Oh, guys, when I went to YouTube, Light Occult Revival's got a stream coming up. Showed up on my feed, so. Okay, let's see. Oscar music, no copyright. We're going to need the... It's got to have no copyright. All right. I love this thing. I love doing this. I don't know if anybody else likes it, but this is where I honor you for greatness. For your greatness. Sorry you had to stare at me all that time. All right. I wonder if they're going to keep the... I wonder if they're going to keep it, if this is like a new idea or what, if they're going to keep it. So now I have to reconcile with the ties. Okay. Now, I want to preface this again. if you don't hear your name called in this award ceremony, that doesn't mean, it means you just weren't as good. That's all it means. Doesn't mean you're not good. It just means that the people whose name are called are just a little bit better. That's all. That's all. I just wanted to put that out there. No, in all seriousness, thank you everybody so much for being on my stream. It means so much. You know, it's really nice. I have to, well, Lewis, listen. The award has begun, and we will be doing speeches. All right. I wish they didn't have so many ties. Okay. This is going to be easy. Coming in. All right, I got to do the Dean Withers thing. Coming in at number 3, it's Nilf. Wow, Nilf. Oh my God, Nilf. Wow, you did it, Nilf. Oh my God, with 225 XP. Is that Dean Withery enough? That was a bit Dean Withery. All right. Nilf, you did it. Wow, amazing. You get the bronze. Congratulations, Nilf. And you did that, you know, you did that even while taking walks and stuff. You went and took a walk. Still somehow managed 3rd place. That's amazing. And then we got another tie, which is ridiculous. I can't understand why we keep getting ties. Someone needs to set themselves apart. And I feel like it's pretty obvious who got the tie for first. It's time now to recognize true heroics, true greatness, true other things, true amazingness. I don't know. I'm running out of words. I can't think of them. That's how great it is that there's not even really an adequate word for it. There's not an adequate word for the contribution that Mary and Louis Ghetto have given to this stream. Incredible. Guys, please give it up for Mary and Louis Ghetto, who have come in with an amazing 300 XP. Or as Dean Withers would put it, an amazing 300 XP. Wow. Let me ask you guys a question. What about violence? Is what we do to animals similar to what we did to the Jews in the Holocaust? Wow. Oh, okay. Well, if you say that it's comparable, then do you approve of violence? Okay. Are you MAGA? Are you MAGA? Do you guys support Trump? Do you support Trump? That's my Dean Withers impression right there. But wow. You guys, I bow to you. Bow to you and your greatness. Mary and Louis have done it again. That is the 2nd time now. And my question to the rest of you is, are you going to stand for this? Are you going to be bested stream after stream and let Mary and Louis rule everything? Are you going to let them do that to you? I think you've got to stand up. Take what's rightfully yours. And, now we're going to, recognize that some people didn't do as good today. Look, I'm just going by the numbers, okay? We're gonna announce the names, okay? Jayesh, Kane Defends Animals. Wait, Kane came in at number 4 somehow. He did it. Came in at number 4. These are participation awards. Jayesh, you participated. Well done. Well done. Honest Doubter, you did it. You did it. You got in there, 150 XP. Jonathan, you participated as well. You also were here. Steven, Vegan Heretic, you also. Axel, you did too. Allie also participated in the chat, and so did Sally Sarah Brown. And look, even though Sally only got 25 XP, it's about look, Sally, 25 XP right into my heart, Valley. So I appreciate all the XP. This has just been amazing. I'm glad that I don't get graded. We're not going to do that. We're not going to grade me. But anyway, this was a top-notch stream, I would say. Another winner. Wow. All right, speech. Is this copyrighted? Oh, hang on.
Oh, you the Gecko. I filed a claim for my car with the Geico app. Only took 2.
Speech. Speech, please. Yes, she has, Jason, and I got an A+. She has graded me. And I told her years later that was one of the proudest days of my life. Okay, Mary's speech is, Felix, you the best. Felix, you've been thanked. Felix is always wow. That was a great speech, guys. That was a great speech. I won't play the music that lets you know that speech was too long. That speech was actually quite short. I wish we had music for that. I wish we had music to let people know that their speech was too short. Well, that's okay. Guys, I don't want to predict the ending of the next stream, but I feel as though Mary and Lewis may want to start preparing their speech. Prove me wrong that they're not going to get it. But I mean, so far, I mean, they're 2 for 2. So go ahead and start working on those speeches, Mary and Lewis. All right. Thank you, everybody who put up with this ridiculousness and is still here. That's amazing. And thank you, everybody who joined the stream. It's really awesome. You guys are amazing. In all seriousness, you guys kick ass. I love you guys. Yeah. Okay. Look out for the interview tomorrow. It's going to come out tomorrow, early evening. And yeah. Tad's green magic carpet. We never seen you till just now. But thanks for being here. All right, guys. Make sure you sub to everybody. Jade for Justice was badass today, or when she got on Dean Withers. I'm sure she was badass today too. Like it probably happened today too that she remained badass. But Jade for Justice, Plant Geezer, and Christspiracy. Go sub to those channels and all of these and mine and everything. All right. It's time for me to get played off. Good night, all.